Hey. Hey. What are you guys doing here? You want to learn about esports? Hang on, I'm pouring my tea here. Do not disturb me. Do not disturb me. Today we are going to be on a panel. A panel is a thing that people who usually think they know more about the industry than they actually do go on to show people that they know lots about the industry. And that sounds like a perfect place for me to be. So that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, that's why I'm on it. And that's what we're doing today. So we're going to talk on that, and then we're going to have the regular show. Then the first thing we got to do is I got to update the Hall of Fame because it's a new month. So we're going to put the old Hall of Fame in the new... the old Hall of Fame is going into the Discord to live forever. Is the immortal Centurions who supported us in the month of June. And then July begins. And today, we are doing a special tip stream. I'm probably going to cap it, though, so it's not going to go on for very long. But a certain amount of money will go to fireworks stream, bonus fireworks stream. One of my friends, Ethan, he is he's been on the show a lot. He's a VP over at Amazon. And he has a kid that we're going to buy some fireworks for. And it's going to make the whole family very happy, and you guys are going to watch us live stream that on Saturday, where we blow up a bunch of fireworks in a neighborhood and piss a lot of people off. Just kind of added to be a little bit of positivity when everything is a little bit not positive right now, and I'm a big positive person. So that is what we're doing today at the Devin Nash stream. Tomorrow, I think we're doing something. I've got some pretty cool guests coming pretty soon. I think you guys will enjoy. I gotta join this call early because they want to do a tech thing. Bop bop bop. Thanks all for being here. Are you having a good day? Are you happy? Yeah. I haven't even had my first cup of tea, which is a travesty. Get it? A travesty? Because it's tea, and it's also... All right. That one was right from Funny School. I read that yesterday, Raxif. That's the kind of very cool shit. It's a very small business, so they don't they have no idea how I'm bringing them customers. They my tea company. They're just a small business in Chicago. They have no idea what's happening. They're like, how the fuck? Who are all these Devin Nash people? People said in a milt. What the fuck is going on? What was that? What was that like? Why was there like a donkey with a rocket out of his ass? Oh, holy shit. $500 fireworks fund. Thanks. That's actually insane. That's like the whole stream. Holy shit. Thank you very much. Is it capped? It might be. Oh shit, I gotta join this panel. Holy fuck. Yo, thank you, Novo. That's incredible. Jesus Christ. That's insane. You're gonna piss off more than your yeah, I think we're gonna probably call the police. Simplord69, to whom this concerns, does thou have any esports tips for mine ears? 503. Hang on, I gotta take out a notepad because I can't. Novo, that's fucking bananas. Thank you very much. Holy shit. Simplord69, $3. So 503 right now. I'm not gonna cap it yet. No. All right, let's figure out how to do this. How much is $500 in fireworks? I think that's like a whole stream, isn't it? Holy fuck, how do I join this? I think I just joined this Google panel. Okay, they sent me a Meet. I hate Google Meet. I hate it. Ready to join? Ask to join. I don't ask permission to come into rooms.
Well, as my heart desires.
It's hard with the green screen. I like the flex.
Hey.
It's a well-lit green screen.
I'm live. Don't say anything you wouldn't want to say. Wait, how can you guys, can you see me?
Yes.
Oh my God. What if I'm not on a green screen, I'm in space? I can probably do that. Hang on. We're gonna see. All right. I'm gonna mute for them because I'm probably really annoying. Like to people that are in the industry that like aren't a memer, I'm a very annoyed person when I come onto a stream live. Like, let's see. I think I just need to change my camera source that I can give them. Then I can float around in space. That would be neat. I don't know if I can use the same. Oh, actually, I have to publish it via virtual cam. That's actually how we do it. Dude, this is some big brain shit. All right.
Oh, I like it.
There we go.
Hello.
Okay. Okay, I'm coming to you from the ISS. How you guys doing?
Good.
Great. How are you doing?
You excited?
I will say, Devin, as somebody who lives in Texas, which is very quickly being the new epicenter of the coronavirus, I'm jealous that you get to come to us all the way from space, man. That is a privilege I wish I had right now.
I was watching the news and decided just to get the fuck out of here. Just wasn't looking too good.
I mean, I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, I think those astronauts for that SpaceX launch, they made the best play possible. You know, like from that time that they left, they've been able to avoid a Saharan dust cloud, meth gators. I found out that was a thing. Did you hear about meth gators? Apparently in Florida, they were telling people to stop flushing their meth down the sewage, down the toilet, because gators were apparently ingesting it, being these methed out gators, which sounds like the coolest thing and the most terrifying thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, I'd like to witness that from a safe distance on a silver screen, maybe.
Yeah.
At most.
I actually think I read something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see that from like a 20-story building and just be like, yeah, you know what? That looks pretty interesting.
I'm trying to figure out how to show you them.
I have
Hang
a
on.
friend who works for Misfits or Florida Mayhem, actually. And so he's in Florida right now. And he's like, yeah, you know, seeing gators and very large lizards has become a daily occurrence. And I'm just
it's complicated as fuck.
Okay, if all you guys can mute your mics real quick, Nick's going to cycle you in and get you guys set up. And you'll be all good to go.
I don't know what in is.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if I go here.
I am leaving, so good luck.
Oh, she just pieced out. Okay. Maybe a window capture? I don't even know how to do it. Cause let's see. Fuck, this is kind of shit that I should have thought about. sometime before this. I could just show you the Google Meet page, but then the Google invite link is there, and they're gonna get like 65,000.
All right, hi guys. If you can hear me, then everything's going great. I know I've met most of you, so thank you so much for helping us out with this conference. I'm just gonna get everyone looking.
You guys are
great
gonna fuck it
so
up.
far. That's easy to do.
100%. You guys are gonna fuck it up if I show you the Meet link.
Sydney, I'm going to just count you down. So when I do a at 2, we're gonna start directly, and I'll do like a 5, 4, 3. And then you're good to go. So once we hit 1, that's when you guys are live.
Okay,
and you can just take it from there.
We move Discord here.
So yeah, I know that you've done this a million times, so I'm sure it's going to be great. All right, and yes, and I will also be kind of like moderating the chat and fielding questions. So if anyone asks a good question, I'll just put it into this.
I will also
chat so you guys
answer your guys' questions. Like if you ask a question in my chat, I'll bring it up. I don't care. Let's see. Maybe a window capture. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's the same thing though. If I capture a window, Jesus Christ. Hang on. Okay, display capture? No. Window capture. Yes. Window test capture. Oh shit. The other problem is if I show
Yes. Please unmute your mics once you count down. That would be horrible if you were all muted and you talked for 40 minutes about that. Wouldn't that be great?
What's also going to happen is once I show them
IGC
we're fucked.
Oh my god.
We're fucked. Actually, I can't put them on the camera. Use this to nuke the link.
Man, Justin,
I don't have time. I'm in the middle of a panel.
I miss you. I haven't seen you in so long. It's COVID, man.
I can't.
I miss DreamHack. I miss tournaments. Okay.
I'm like
baiting you guys.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's the answer. That's the answer. Oh, you're so
muted.
Bigly brain. That's actually the answer. Hang on.
So sweet.
Okay, so we use. Yeah. So we use this. Show. Reset. And then I crop it. Oh my god, you guys are so smart. Check this out. But it's good. So what the problem is that it's going to actually show them this screen because I'm on OBS. So I actually need to just reset my video settings to the green screen. They're not going to be able to see that I'm in space if I show you guys this. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't make sense to you. Unless I broadcast, I publish to multiple cameras, but I've never tried that before. And maybe the whole thing explodes.
Oh, Devin.
I know, dude.
Okay, there you go. Great. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm like... All right, hang on. Don't worry, I'm a professional. All right. See, I transition here. Now you see that. However, they can't see the
all right, guys, it's coming soon.
They can't see unless virtual cam can output to multiple cameras at once, but I think that's insanity. Yeah. It's scuffed as fuck, but it's whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's fine. So what they see is they see a well-lit green screen. What you see is this. Does that make sense? And you can't see me. But I could fix that too if I am going to get huge brain by adding a webcam source over the current source, which I could do, and theoretically, if I move this up in priority. Let's see.
All right, guys.
Oh my fucking god!
Go live.
So now I'm here.
5, 4, 3.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the panel using Twitch to elevate your esports brand. I'm Sydney Goodman, and I have quite the exquisite panel of experts to break this down. I have Justin Varghese, Alex Rubens, and Devin Nash. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here. So before we jump into the questions, I'll give each of you a moment to shine and just explain kind of who you are, why you're a great fit to be talking on this panel. Why don't we start with you, Alex?
Yeah, my name's Alex Rubens. I lead team operations for Cronky Esports, which is LA Gladiators in Overwatch and LA Gorillas in Call of Duty League. Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. And Justin, I feel like I've started this like calling on thing, so I guess I'll continue to do that. So Justin, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I have no problems with that, Sydney. I think that's a very easy way for me to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on this panel. But I digress. Justin Varghese, North American Marketing Manager for DreamHack. For those of you who are on the call that maybe aren't familiar with DreamHack, DreamHack is the premier gaming lifestyle festival. Last year, our team did 15 shows in 9 different countries with an estimated global attendance upwards of 350,000 people. And as you can imagine, that number has shrinked considerably, given the fact that we're in a global pandemic and we can't really put on our festivals as much. But despite that, our team's come out with some pretty neat initiatives that we've been slowly unveiling over these past couple of weeks. And we're just very excited to kind of finally have some time to ourselves to be able to take care of all the things that we didn't have time to do before because we were on such a rough festival schedule that we can finally take care of now.
Very nice. Well, thank you for being here, Justin. And Devin, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm not a homeless guy that just found this Google Meet by accident. Let's see. Okay. I used to run some esports teams. I ran CLG until we sold to Madison Square Garden. And now I run the #1 industry talk show on Twitch, talking about this kind of stuff. And I also run a marketing agency called Nerd Fusion with my business partner. But that's all to detract from my real goal, which is to grow my hair out so much that it consumes me entirely. And then I become a rolling ball of fluff, dispensing advice about how to grow successful businesses to all who encounter me.
I mean, that's definitely one place to get business advice. It's a rolling pile of hair. But okay, well, let's just jump into it. I mean, the panel is titled "Using Twitch to Elevate Your Esports Brand." So what role do you see Twitch playing in the current esports ecosystem? Anybody want to jump on that?
Okay.
If you don't jump, I'm going to call on you.
I'm doing it. All right. Okay, so since 2018, esports accounted for about 25% of Twitch, right? And that declined because Activision moved everything to YouTube. But Twitch's major role in the esports industry is actually that it supports it financially. A lot of people don't know this, but the way that all of the teams that came into the LCS and then later came into OWL basically did it was through Twitch contracts. And so Twitch, a lot of people think just supports it from a viewership perspective, but the main way that it supports it is actually financial.
Interesting. Now, when you're speaking about these contracts, sorry, did I just steamroll through somebody else talking?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard murmurs.
That's just me mumbling
so when
crazily.
You're talking about these contracts, are you talking about contracts with these teams in particular or the individual members of the teams?
They don't support players directly, but the way that they do it is through a weird form of arbitrage. So they'll pay the teams a fixed rate, what's called usually a minimum guarantee, and then they'll put some extra amount on that based on viewer hours. And so what ends up happening is that the team gets enough money to run its operations and then pay its players. And you ever wonder why Team Liquid has Twitch streamers? Why would they do that? There's no ROI in that, right? So they have Twitch streamers because they are getting paid by Twitch to do that. They can add those viewer hours effectively to their contract, and that increases their price. And in so doing, Twitch basically propped up the whole esports industry. I don't think we would have an esports industry if Twitch didn't support it in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Now, Alex, you are currently running Team Ops. Do you see Twitch playing a similar role in this esports ecosystem?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like Devin said, we have 2 Activision leagues, so they're both on YouTube, but most of our players still create content primarily on Twitch. It's definitely an impactful part of what we do from a team level, what players do individually. I know that we aren't as big with content, at least live content, as some of the other teams are. We don't produce our own events yet or anything like that that's separate that would be streamed on Twitch, but it's definitely still a very impactful part of what we do, regardless of whether the leagues are on YouTube or on Twitch or on Facebook or anywhere like that.
Mm-hmm. And Justin, how do you see Twitch playing a role in this current ecosystem?
Yeah, well, I think Devin summed up the deep dive very, very well in regards to what a lot of people don't really think about. So I guess in reverse panel order, I'll kind of give the bird's eye view for a degree. something that somebody told me that really resonated with me was that the way Twitch kind of rose and how esports rose is very similar to the rise of poker being broadcasted professionally, in the sense that a lot of these events weren't really, I guess, as as taken to by the general public until there was a way to convey that narrative on screen and to tell that story. And I think that's what Twitch really did above everything else, was it made it so you were able to broadcast and, more importantly, tell a story in regards to what this tournament is about, what this scene is about, etc. As a former caster, I can tell you that at the end of the day, when it comes to esports as a whole, you're really trying to sell pixels to people. And Twitch does a marvelous job of letting you do just that by giving you all the tools that you need to be able to pull off a successful broadcast. And I think that there's a lot of other really nice benefits because Twitch isn't really tied to, say, a specific network or FCC guidelines and things like that, that allow it to broadcast this information in ways maybe traditional mediums are a bit limited.
Do you, just playing off of that, do you think actually though that Twitch created good narratives for esports? Because in my mind, like that 9-hour long live stream broadcast is like a horrible way to actually get a narrative across, right? Like, because there's so many different games happening, or teams might only play one time because there's so many matches that they have to get through, and then maybe it's another day or like another week or month before that team plays again. And I feel like the shorter format, and this is just me genuinely asking because I want other opinions on it too. To me, the shorter format of like a pre-produced like VOD that, you know, it can be aired live, but it was actually recorded separately and then cut into something. It's such an appealing way to actually spread an esports narrative. So I'm really curious to hear your thoughts of how potentially something like Twitch or long live streams built or help build narratives.
Well, esports has a storytelling problem outside of the medium that it's used to stream on, right? And that's been a problem with esports for a long time. So I guess I don't understand what you mean by narrative. If you mean like narrative, like how do we make games interesting? Twitch can't help with that. I guess even the LCS can't tell that story. Their best option is Sushi Dragon. So I don't know how we're going to get there, but is that what you mean by narrative or what? Like, what?
Yeah, I was just asking based on how what he said, right? Is that Twitch gave similar to poker, the opportunity to actually present that story out to people. But it's just interesting to me because in my mind, I don't know, I run teams and even I sit there and go like, oh, I'm just going to watch my games, right? I don't have the whole weekend to sit around and do it. And I know that personally, I believe that we would reach so many more fans if we had more tighter, condensed broadcasts. Personally, that's just my opinion.
I think that starts with the story of the players. Because what you do is you go to traditional sports and you say, how do they solve it? How do you keep people interested in two teams playing the same match over and over again? And like I think the answer is you have to build these really compelling narratives about why people should care about the players. And that is one of the big mistakes that Overwatch and CDL have not succeeded in doing yet, is like, why should I care? Right? The LCS used to do it, and it used to be that like CLG versus TSM was a huge deal. Yep. And like 2015 Madison Square Garden popping off, like, oh my God, like it's going to be a huge thing. Like everyone's freaking out. And then all of a sudden, it's like now I watch CLG versus TSM, like I sleep, dude. I can't watch this for the 70th time. Nobody's telling their stories.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that there's a whole conversation we can have around that too, right? Because to a degree, who bears the burden of telling that player's story? Is it on the individual teams themselves? Is it on the TOs? Personally, I think it's a little bit of both, right?
Yes.
As a broadcaster, it's best to use all the cards that you are dealt to have the best narrative possible. You know, for me, whenever I was doing commentary, I viewed anytime I'd get to sit down and pick the minds of a player in regards to what their strategies were, what they were scared of, who their rivals were. That's all seasonings, if you will, as you're cooking up your cast essentially, right? And I do feel like you're all absolutely right that while within the people who are already initiated, I think that our storytelling is enough, but especially for trying to get this industry to have a couple extra zeros at the end of it, it needs to be a lot more approachable for your everyday person. The end of the day, you know, I mean, esports is what, $1 billion industry now, which is great, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to gaming as a whole, which I think is closer to 250, something like that.
Well, it's also a drop in the bucket relative to like, okay, so the LCS has the same amount of watchtowers as Asmongold, right? like think about that for a second, okay?
No,
so yeah, like that's like a really crazy thing. Like the LCS spends hundreds of millions of dollars on production. Asmongold has 58.5 million hours watched in the last year. Riot Games has 57.7 million. So like, right. So it's like, if we're going to take it, I'm like this old guy yells at clouds on Twitter where I'm like, we need to take this industry seriously, you know, and but it's actually true. Like Justin is 100% right. The only way that we're going to do that is if we solidify these stories and actually start to like take responsibility for getting people interested that are not just endemic people in the audience that are like, I will watch esports. Like I'll watch paint dry. Like I'm totally in any game. Like, right. You can't just appeal to those fanatics.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, touching back to what Alex asked at the beginning, where does it make sense to keep doing these long broadcasts, or do we need to package it in a more condensed format? I don't see those as mutually exclusive concepts necessarily.
Totally.
I feel like there's ways to operate in a way where you can have it for everybody, right? That's the flexibility that Twitch, let alone the internet, gives us, is the ability to package these stories in a way. I mean, from a marketing perspective, my objective at the end of the day is the right content to the right person at the right time. And I think that even from a storytelling perspective, that sort of mentality works wonders. And it would be really great to see our industry kind of adopt that en masse.
By the way, this is probably the hardest problem our industry has to solve. And I think the second hardest problem we have is like, how do we actually make advertising dollars worth it? but that's a whole nother discussion. but along the lines of the first one, I think my largest failing at CLG when I ran it was not solving this problem. And it's crazy too, because I thought about it all the time. Like the number one problem in CLG was getting people to get, can I cuss in this? Is that a thing?
I don't have the answer to that.
Okay, then I'll assume I can. It was giving people to give a frick about, that just sounds wrong. People had to care. I can't be like, I gotta go all the way or none of the way. Okay.
Yeah, no half measures.
Yeah. There are no half measures here. Okay. So like, I feel like getting people to care about the content was the largest problem we had. We hired video producers, we hired experts, we brought in a dude from Hollywood and like tried to get him to do like have idea. It was so hard, and we never solved it. They haven't solved it to this day. You still go to the CLG YouTube channel, no one cares. They're making it's so crazy. There's so many teams that are like full production crews, like 4K cameras, the whole jazz, because they have way too much investment money running around. They're like our story, and it's like hardcore music, like da 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 da, and then it's like there's 1,000 people watching. It's like 1,000 people on YouTube. It's like, so I don't know to this day how you solve that problem for esports teams. It's so hard.
All right, so. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, no, just really quickly. I was going to say, I think that's one of the biggest issues that teams have with content, right? Is they look at it and they say TSM Legends was successful because people like docu-series. Not like, no, it's because they were one of the most popular teams and had really good storytelling and people wanted to watch that docu-series, right? People just back into formats that work and assume that there's correlation there versus actually taking time to break down what's unique about their team and their type of content or whatever.
So clearly there's a lack of storytelling and a lack of storytelling to an audience to get buy-in, right? But which esports teams do you feel like are maybe closer than others to succeeding in that? And do you feel like Twitch is part of that? Or do you think that Twitch is such an endemic platform that teams need to learn how to utilize other tools in order to bring in more fans?
The team that's killing it. Go ahead. Sorry, I talked too much.
No, I was just going to say.
I love the talk. Everybody talk. Just not at the same time.
Maybe we say the team at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Like
1, 2, 3, bam!
Yeah. Go ahead,
the teams
Alex.
that are probably doing the best are the ones that are not focusing on their esports players.
Bam.
Right? Like, I think that, if you just look at the teams that are most successful, people look, and I love our esports players, but they really want to win, and that's really what they care about, right? They're not always the most compelling entertainment products. So I think the people that are winning are the people not focusing on that, but focusing on building the next generation of esports, right? Where esports truly succeeds is not pure competition and creating content around that. It's not purely having streamers creating content. It's that blend in between that Fortnite was doing so well for so long before it just disappeared all of a sudden. But that's where teams find success, is in the middle. So you look at someone like 100 Thieves.
It's 100 Thieves. It's yeah.
There's not too many of them that are doing
for exactly the reason that Alex said, because 100 Thieves is doing something where they're even going a level above that, where they're actually combining their competitive with their talent, and they're making decisions on who they select for their team based on both of those components. And you get sort of the ultimate like one of the big challenges I'm sure Alex knows, because I ran into this all the time as well, is like trying to find a person who has that competitive drive and truly wants to win, but simultaneously will do content whenever you ask, and like is actually a person who wants to do that. Like that's not everybody that wants to be an entertainer as well. There's like two totally different skill sets, but esports needs both. Especially right now, it's like formative years. It's a really tough problem to solve. But like if you're a team like 100 Thieves, you get that appeal, and then you start selling apparel, and you start selling stuff that isn't. You literally ironically monetize every single way that right that isn't esports, because esports doesn't make any money, and then that's the only way you turn. And I'm pretty sure 100 Thieves is like one of the only profitable teams like out there. They're like maybe TSM because they're ad network, but I don't even know how well that does now. So it gives you some idea.
Justin, I feel like you were kind of getting ready to jump in on that.
Dude.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like what Devin's talking about and what Alex is touching on as well. Again, I don't think that that's really something that is strictly an esports only challenge. I think that even in traditional sports, to a degree, we really watch personality. We watch players, but we love personalities to a degree. And when you're able to find that rare combination of a superstar talent that has that kind of on-screen charisma as well, I mean, that's the ultimate game changer, right? Just because I finished watching the documentary not too long ago, I can't help but think about Michael Jordan, right? He's the kind of player who had it all, right? On the court, it was absolute magic. But even off the court, just listening to how he would speak, the way that he would conduct himself, all of that was kind of put together in this package that was, I think even like to this day, pretty remarkable and nearly untouchable. There's a very finite amount of people who can do both, who can have that personality aspect as well as the raw talent in game. And I think it's something that we need to, as an industry, try to figure out how to best nurture in a way that is genuine and organic. I think that there's a lot of folks who at times like to make drama for drama's sake because they think, hey, this is maybe what we need to spice things up a little bit and have some sort of viewership. But what I found works best is whenever it's an authentic place, right? In the fighting game community, when you put two guys up on the sticks and you know that they hate each other, you can see a fundamental difference in regards to how somebody is maybe glossing over that content in the background of this 9-hour stream, as Alex had mentioned, versus someone now fervently being plugged into the action in game immediately. And the more we can replicate that specific scenario, I think is how it's going to make it so even if, say, maybe League of Legends and LCS gets as many views as Asmongold over a year period, the kind of viewership and the kind of engagement that's there is strikingly different enough for a lot of non-endemic partners and brands to recognize that there is a lot of untapped value within the space.
It's worth noting that FGC has this figured out, just like Justin said, but for some reason, it doesn't exponentially scale like LCS does. I don't know why that is, but the storylines are right. The storylines are there in FGC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is slightly off topic, but it seems like the consensus is kind of, I mean, Devin, you said it really well, where you want esports players who are also entertainers and good entertainers at that, right? Now, do you feel like having a focus and maybe having teams choose their rosters based on who's the most entertaining and willing to create content outside of practice is maybe, I don't want to say holding esports back, but it is putting a focus on something other than very high level play? Like, do you see that as being a potential issue?
I don't understand the question.
So if you're, let's say I'm running a team, which I'm not, but in this pretend scenario, I am choosing a roster of players based on not just skill and will to win, but I'm thinking about who is going to be a great entertainer and who's going to stream on Twitch and who we're going to build these storylines around, right? And so if you're only looking at those types of players, then do you think there's a potential of passing up folks who are very, very high skill leveled, but they don't want to be an entertainer? They just want to play games and win.
Oh man. I think my hot take on this is that esports at a business level was never about selecting players that win. That's a freaking huge thing. Like, yeah, it is. But remember that the key word there is at a business level, which means like if you want to generate any reasonable amount of money for your in this case your investors, you have to pick based on content and based on entertainment, because players that unless you get the unicorns, unless you get both, right? Then great, like you get a double lift or you get an Afromu. Okay, fine. Like, right. And sometimes that shows up. There are but people that one of the things that I think is really hard to accept in esports is just because you're a number one team doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a ton of clout and popularity, especially now. I think it used to be more true, but as we go on and the industry starts to mature, for some reason, it's like maybe just the saturation of tournaments, but it's like you can keep winning over and over and again, and it does help your popularity a bit. And we went through this theory at CLG. We were always debating this. It's like, okay, if we just win and we just like stop worrying about this YouTube stuff, and we like, are people is it gonna happen? And we did win, and you could see like one of the ways that was really easy to track this is merch sales. So if we won more tournaments, our merch sales would probably increase by like 30-40%, right? But that's a neurotic way to do business. Because if you can't guarantee that you're going to win 100% of the time. So if the only way that your business is going to succeed is you're just going to have to win games all the time, you're in trouble. Sorry, I've tried really hard not to curse because that's something that,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Justin, Alex, do either of you have any hot takes on Devin's hot take?
I mean, he's completely right. Building a brand based on winning works until it doesn't. Right. Yeah. And that's where you see a lot of teams end up, is that they're, 17-2 and they're the best team or second best team in the league and they're making a great run. And then next season, something happens. All of a sudden they're in 8th and no one really cares anymore. Right. And especially if you look at most of just using LCS teams as an example, if you look at a lot of the teams that came in, they focus solely on trying to make the biggest splash competitively. And you look, and some of those teams like barely did anything in the first couple of years. Right. Like, I'm sure that collectively the 4 of us probably gained more Twitter followers than some of the franchise LCS teams, which is crazy, right?
Except that a lot of them bought followers.
Yeah, that's also not a joke. I've actually done that exercise.
Yeah. I have like a little button with like flame.
It's crazy. Some of the teams gained like 2,500 Twitter followers when you franchised in. That's insane, right? And so you look at it, and now, like 3 years in, they're trying to figure out what to do because all of a sudden their team might be one of the least valued slots, despite the fact that they've, were typically competitive across the term that they've been in there. So you can't just focus on winning. You also can't just focus on content, because being the 12th place team and having really good content just means you have a bunch of content no one wants to watch, right? Like, it's not exciting to watch bad teams over and over again over a long period of time. It works well for fun drama pieces and great like breaking point documentaries, but no one will watch that for multiple years in a row, right? It's just not exciting.
It is I'm sorry, go ahead. I talk too much.
No, I was just gonna say we only talk about like the Cleveland Browns when they win that one game and the Bud Light refrigerator gets unlocked, right? But no one's plugged in all year long being like, oh man, they might win game number 2. Like, we don't care, And I think that for a lot of teams, especially that are starting out, this is the quandary, right? There is good investment money coming into the space, of course, but it's still relatively limited compared to, say, that of a traditional sports team. And as a result of that, you kind of have to balance everything. You have to find really good players because, like Alex said, if you're at the bottom of the barrel, people really don't care too much about what you do. But you also have to kind of balance out, okay, is there any star potential within these players that I'm finding? And if not, how much of it is a coachable skill that I can implement onto my players directly? I think that a pretty good example of somebody who had that mindset was actually Hex, especially with what he did with Optic. Because one thing that he did a great job of was he conveyed to his players that we're not an esports team, we're an entertainment company that happens to win championships. And that is such a great mindset, because not only did it work really well to the point where Optic was an incredibly successful team in the Call of Duty space. But more importantly, he gave each of those individuals longevity well beyond their esports careers. We were talking about 100 Thieves and how well they're doing, and that's Nadeshot's company, a spawn of Hex, if you will, right? Scump is another person who's still competing in this space, but has a massive following on his own because he was able to really balance out being a top level threat in game and also being this larger than life personality. And I think that some scenes, like the fighting game scene in particular, do this really well naturally, and other scenes don't. And it's unfortunately one of those soft skills where it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and really smart empowerment and leadership to get your players in a position where they really feel comfortable showing the shades of that personality that turn them into these personas that are larger than life.
Yeah, Optic's also a really great example because for a long time they weren't winning championships, right? Yeah. But they were still the number one team by fans. They were the ones that people cared about the most. It was always about the journey, despite the fact that most of the time they got fourth, right? It was about that's what people wanted. And you could actually watch viewership go up by 50,000 when Optic was playing, and then down by 50,000 when they got kicked out, right? Or even if they were playing later, right, it would dip until they came back, and it became a meme. Is like, when is Optic on? Because that's when people would actually tune in.
That's the power of good storytelling, and I think that beats everything at the end of the day. Like, content is king is like the cliche, but it's so true. Like, the thing is too that there's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The people that are making the best content, that are getting the most sponsors, because that's how sponsors dictate the value of a team, right? Is by viewer hours, by how many people are watching them, by how much exposure, by the CTAs, right? Like the difference between a contract between like CLG and Cloud9 is like night and day. Because Cloud9 can do more CTAs, they've got more calls to action, right? They've got more ability to sell product and just move stuff and get eyes on things. And so that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that you actually end up getting the best players because they want to play there. And then one thing that I'll tell you is, like, we talked a lot, I think, at the beginning about these personalities of esports players, people that do want to do content or do not want to do content. And I have noticed that a lot of what depends on if a person will do content is the initial culture that they have coming into the team. If the expectation is, yo, you're going to be on film all the time, we're filming your story, then they will go with that, and they will actually become personalities that are behest to, like, great camera personalities. But if you get them into a team and it's like, yo, sit in this chair and scrim for 12 hours a day, then then like you try to introduce content. This is the mistake we made on one of the first teams, was like we did that. We had them scrim like 12 hours a day, and then we're like, all right, we're gonna start filming you, and these guys are like, go get out of here. Like, what are you guys doing, right? Like, whereas like it is an actual like Justin said, it is an actual, like, is the essence of Optic. Like, that's what we do. We're on film all the time. We're filming this. We're doing it. Like, everything we do is our journey. That cultural difference is imperative if you're running an esports team. You got to get people trained on that.
You also have to do content that they want. Like, people, when they make content, all these teams come up with these ideas that I look at and I'm like, oof. But then they don't think about the fact that players don't want to do that, and they just say players don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. Have you ever asked the players what type of content they want to be in, right? Like, that's the biggest thing. Most of the time, they'll probably be like, I don't know, and they won't have good ideas, or any ideas, rather. But every once in a while, they have such a good idea that it's worth it. You can build something around it. And if they're passionate about it, they're going to put the effort in. They're going to have fun. No one wants to sit there and watch a team who's in 12th place color and film it for like an hour. That's just not fun. Like, it's not fun for the players. It's not fun for the viewer. It's certainly not good content that attracts advertisers. But if you can give them something that they're having fun with and that they're enjoying being a part of, it will always be good. And that translates, whether it actually brings more viewers or not. That's dependent on the people and your team and everything else that you've built, but it at least makes for better content.
Yeah, and the best part is once you identify a player like that, you can always lean in on that a bit, right? Keep picking their brain, keep propping them up as a way to figure out how you can create compelling content that players want to do and people who enjoy watching players want to watch. Maybe that's part of the disconnect that a lot of these teams that are getting resources are facing, is because they're leaving the players themselves out of the equation whenever they're trying to figure out these kinds of storylines and whatnot. And I don't know, I feel like if you go straight to the source, you're often resulting in just a much better product.
Yeah, I think in general, one of the biggest things that teams could do to have their content succeed and their business succeed with content is just to fund player personal content. ultimately that was all. When I was at YouTube working with esports teams, that was one of the hardest battles. Is people would be like, well, why would I pay for that when it lives on their channel and I don't own it? But there's so many other layers of, oh, well, if your team is out on this person's channel and your player is getting bigger and being spread everywhere, and one, you can probably also sell more sponsors because you have more available space to put their logos or the jerseys or players or whatever. That's really where the next level of content starts to come into play, and teams should 100% be taking half of the money that they spend on 4K cameras, bringing 8 shooters to go film a little trivia video, and instead take it and put those resources towards funding player content.
It's a challenge for teams if you have someone on a contract, though, for 2 or 3 years, and they're going to go to the highest bidder, right? It's basically who pays me more money. Unless you can get some kind of loyalty and some kind of buy-in from that player, it's like, God, it's so hard not to curse. It's like we invested all of this into this person only to literally give them the TSM, and then their brand is more strong. And that's a literal example, right? Like, yeah.
But if you have them for 3 years while they're at the peak of their content, then that's still good for you as a team, right? I think that's often the mindset that people have is like, why would I invest in someone who can leave me? But you can get so much of them while they're there. And also that does mean a lot to players. You'd be surprised how often players will not ask for more money in a contract just because you treat them well, and a lot of times that money is so low to actually treat them well compared to other teams.
I think
go ahead.
I think that the difference between 1 to 100,000 followers is really, really different from the difference to 3 to 100,000 to 500,000 followers. So if you put the buy-in, basically think about it. Let's take another analogy and like take the exact same example, and I think it'll make a lot of sense. Like equity in a business, okay? So the idea is you put in a ton of time into a business when it first starts up because you're going to earn equity in that will then be worth more later, right? It's the exact same as investing in a player. The problem is that you don't hold on to that equity later. So by the time it becomes valuable, you don't have that investment recuperated, which is why business executives make those decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh no. I was just gonna say that feels like the inevitable balancing act, right? Yeah. How many resources do you put towards individual player development when you know that is a time-sensitive resource, and how many resources do you put towards the brand growth, essentially, right? Because I think that's the toughest part is like, how do you, if you do spend all this time and all these resources building up one player and they do leave, how do you make sure that you can keep the entire base when that player moves to another team? You know, it's there's a big difference between a Cleveland Cavaliers fan and a LeBron James fan, and I think that they probably recognize that immediately right now as well, and it just seems like a very tough challenge for a lot of teams.
I'm glad that you brought up traditional sports because, you know, we're talking there are a lot of parallels and a lot of learnings there. Now, how do you see the potential of utilizing Twitch, separating esports from traditional sports? I mean, do you see that really giving esports its own narrative or its own leg up from traditional sports? Or is it something where I find there's a lot of athletes now coming onto Twitch and kind of utilizing the benefits of it, that it's a level playing field? I know it's a little bit dicey comparing esports and traditional sports, like apples to apples, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I think one interesting aspect of Twitch versus traditional sports is if you have certain players that have this, I guess, this aura to them, right? These superstar players that have massive followings off screen and things like that on their own channels and whatnot. The NBA at the end of the day can only broadcast the game from the specific channel that it's contracted to, right? It can only broadcast it on ABC. It can't take advantage of the fact that LeBron James maybe has this massive following on another broadcast platform to co-stream, if you will. I know this isn't something that's super popular necessarily with every single tournament organizer, but I do think that things like co-streaming with players, especially if we're going to be investing more into them being personalities, makes it so that you're able to really widen the amount of people that you're able to reach. And that's something that traditional sports really can't do because they're very limited to, hey, this is an ABC broadcast of the NBA. it's only on ABC, right? They can't take advantage of those same metrics and those same channels that these players themselves have developed the way that esports can. In addition to that, again, I think that because of specific FCC regulations and things like that, there's only a set amount of information that needs to be displayed on screen from a traditional sports perspective whenever you're watching something like basketball or football. Most notably, I think that's relevant whenever you talk about the conversion back. So if you look a couple years back to a product like Heroes of the Dorm, what they were able to showcase on the on-screen overlay on Twitch and what was showcased on the on-screen overlay for TV was a fraction from an information perspective, right? So I think that Twitch allows you to really showcase more information, and to get even more granular than that, it gives people an opportunity to have a little bit more granularity in regards to the content itself. There's a very big difference, if we got to go to traditional sports again, between Joe Buck's commentary and Tony Romo's commentary, right? But it feels like one thing that Twitch allows you to do is you don't have to necessarily pick between one or the other, right? You're able to create a broadcast that can target specific sets of people, right? You can create a newbie-friendly stream, and you can create one that's a little bit more tailored towards hardcore players. It could be even a professional player sitting there co-streaming the event and giving commentary in live time, which I think is an absolutely massive thing. Now, I know that there's, of course, a lot of stipulations there and probably a lot of work that needs to be done from a contract perspective, from a sponsorship fulfillment perspective, etc. But I do think that it's one of the things that I love to see utilized in the space when it is, but also at the same time is not utilized enough for being such a dynamite advantage that we have.
I think, though, that you're going to see esports have the same problem because media rights are the most valuable inventory in esports and will eventually lock everyone into specific platforms. So for now, like, I think that the major advantage over traditional sports is the exposure to the 16 to 36 demographic. And that's something that sports can't do right now. So the co-streaming opportunities are really exciting, though I think that media exclusivity, like you're already seeing it with Activision, right? Like CDL sold, was it 120 million? They sold to CDL and OWL broadcasting rights to YouTube. And so that effectively gates like a lot of that sort of like co-opt broadcasting. The other thing is that publishers are often very anal, I think is a good word about who broadcasts their or not. I mean, we all of us in this call probably have Blizzard horror stories of like trying to put on tournaments and stuff. Like DreamHack, I'm looking at you guys. Like it's very hard sometimes to get it through publishers that to run these to run these kind of events with like co-streaming. So I hope that's right, and I hope that esports evolves in that direction, but it could really easily evolve in the other direction too.
I also think that there's a big difference between 90 seconds with LeBron post game and 9 hours with Double Lift, right? It's just a much easier way to engage with your audience. That's why you see now, like you brought up, traditional sports athletes streaming on Twitch. It's a better way to connect with their audience than them trying to be like, here's another Instagram photo of me playing basketball, right? It's not super interesting. There's only so many ways that they can connect with their fans that way. But you see people like Josh Hart and Myers Leonard, like Myers hosts Call of Duty Warzone tournaments, right? That's huge compared to probably what he's able to reach through a traditional sports broadcast.
Now, okay, we have about 6-ish minutes. So let's call this not necessarily rapid fire, but just maybe keep that in mind so I don't have to cut off people while we're answering this next one. But so, Devin, you mentioned the Activision Blizzard exclusivity with YouTube. For everyone, what do you see as pros and cons of aligning with a particular streaming platform? And how does that play into, Call of Duty guys having big Twitch followings and now you can only watch that stuff on YouTube?
YouTube potentially has higher potential for top viewership as a platform, number one. You see people like Laserbeam getting 900,000 viewers for one stream. And secondly, it's just media rights. It's just media rights deals. It's where the money is. That's it. It's like rapid fire. Yeah.
Well, that was a perfect. Does anybody have anything else to add to that?
I think that's a great summation.
Well, that was very quick. So we have another question. So we've talked a lot about, this brand building and having esports teams, like should they, shouldn't they, how much should they invest in building their players' brands, and, seeing that as a player's brand builds, that's a great thing for everyone. How could an aspiring professional esports athlete who hasn't signed with a team leverage their Twitch to their advantage to maybe be able to already offer that to teams?
Yeah, I think it's easier than you think, funny enough, right? If you are a player who is good enough to potentially be scouted by teams to be signed, you already are among the top 0.1% of players out there, which means your gameplay is incredible. It's absolutely insane. I don't think it takes too much effort. So it's as simple as really streaming your gameplay and then having somebody essentially package it in ways so you can push it out on other platforms, right? So Twitch itself is a long form, almost unedited, very easy come and go sort of situation, right? You can't just take an 8-hour Twitch stream of you playing League and then slap that on YouTube and be like, why is no one following my brand, right? But if you can take that and repackage that into 7 to 15 minute highlight or 20-minute highlight, right? And you can do that for every couple of streams that you do. And then even from there, you can be a little bit more granular and create 15 to 30-second highlights for Instagram and Twitter. Then all of a sudden, you're able to take one piece of content, which was your stream, a piece of macro content, and then disseminate that into micro content that's packaged onto all these different platforms, which in turn lets everything grow fairly exponentially.
I'd also say that
if you aren't creating content as an esports person, or literally anybody in the industry, I don't care what you are, caster, whatever, you're big dumb. That's it.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the, just playing on that too before we get back to amateurs, one of the biggest issues is people wait until they're retired to create content, which is so silly because that's when the fans aren't watching the most. Yeah. So you should be doing it while you're playing. But in general, for amateurs too, their goal should be about getting themselves a spot, not necessarily creating giant amount of content, right? Like one of the biggest issues with amateur play is that it's just like not really broadcast and it's not really pulled together in a super compelling package all the time. So it should just be about putting the best showcase that you can into that content, really getting it out in front of the most amount of people, and then using that to leverage you moving up in your playing career personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's perfect because we're like basically out of time. So thank you all for your insight. Before we completely sign off, if you want to let us know where to find you on Twitter, wherever you're making content, if you're making content. Devin, why don't we start with your sign off?
Don't try to find me. I don't like any of you. No, I'm it's twitch.tv/Devin Nash on Monday through Friday, and then usually YouTube, same name. Thank you for having me, by the way. I actually do like everyone here. Justin, we go back a bit, and Alex, I think I'm meeting you for the first time, but you have very insightful comment. I agree with everything you said, so it's very cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this was great. You can find me, Alex Rubens, anywhere. Follow the gorillas and the gladiators. That's the most important part. This is how you build an esports brand, one industry panel at a time.
And Justin, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me on all social platforms at jvarg1990. And follow DreamHack on everything. There, I stole it from Alex.
Right on. And yeah, I'm Sydney Goodman. You can find me everywhere at Sid So Good. Thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you, panelists, for your wonderful insight.
You've been a wonderful host, Sydney. Thank you.
Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you.
All right, I guess we just leave. All right. That's what we
do. Guys, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. That was it. You guys were fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I was sitting here smiling the whole time, silently but smiling. It was an awesome panel. I really, really hope I can work with you guys again. We're going to be putting on all sorts of these panels, all sorts of stuff. We really enjoyed the digital format, and it's a lot easier than having everyone fly out to California just to go to these things. So again, really, really appreciate this. But I got to get going on the next panel. I got a fighting game panel. Justin, you have to watch. I think you're going to like it. So it's me, a D1, a Tasty Steve, and Sajam. So it's going to be great.
I'll see you. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Cool. So anyways, guys, Alex, Devin, I haven't met you. Actually, here, I can turn on my camera now, maybe. I haven't met you guys, but thank you so much for being a part of the conference. We do all sorts of podcasts and all sorts of other fun stuff, so we should definitely talk and get more involved because you guys were great. Anyways, that being said, I got to go. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to share you guys a copy of this when it's all online and cut and all that. And yeah, stay in touch. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cool.
Peace.
Thanks, everyone. Great to meet you.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, it's over. We're free. Hang on. The thing that was most upsetting about that panel is that I got styled on by someone who had better hair than me in the very last 10 seconds. That camera went on, and I immediately felt like I was outside of my safe space. God damn. All right. Let's go back to the... I don't know. How do I find the panel? It'll be... well, it's in the Discord. If you join the Discord, every single person that is a member of this community got a code for an industry pass. So you can join and watch the rest of the panels for an industry pass. It's all good because your camera positioning made it look like it was your hair. Fuck yeah. Hopefully that was good for you guys. I like to do different shit on Twitch, so I try to bring different stuff to you guys every show or so, and there you go. That's like, it's not over. We're going to have like a whole nother show. I'm literally, this is the beginning, dude. We haven't even begun to rock. Okay? Yes, the panel's over. So I need to change the title. We're going to go back to this screen. We're going to get some vibes going. Holy shit. Because we need some vibes. How about this vibe? Yeah. That was a good panel. I liked everyone on that panel. Hardest part was not cursing. I should have asked. They probably would have said yes. They were super cool. But you never know. Like, you have to default towards not... It's too bad you were not on invested in esports, know what to look for in a growing industry. That wouldn't have been a good panel for me to be on because I would have been like, the fucking guy in The Simpsons is like, it stinks, it stinks, it stinks. Like, don't invest. That you're all fucking up. You're never going to make your ROI. And then they would have been like, Jesus Christ, why did we invite this guy? Which is probably already what they were thinking with just the last panel that I was on. So I don't know. I shouldn't have been on that panel for sure. Yeah, don't invest. Okay, we need to find a good title, methinks. Don't toss frog me, dummy. Bono. Okay, so... When I find the panel information, I will give you guys it. It'll be on Discord. Sorry, I'm trying to just set up the stream because I didn't do that. Sydney Goodman follows you on Twitter. I will follow back. I'm famous now, Smile. I wish I could do more of these public speaking engagements, but like I never fucking get invited to them. Probably because of the kind of shit that I do on them. I wonder why. Fuck off. Like, you're too honest. I just don't care. I'm. It's the same as my stream. I'm there to add value. Like, that's it. You literally started the talk saying you looked like a homeless person. Well, I said it's my goal to be a homeless person, or I said I was a homeless person that just ran into this call. I mean, I think, I don't know. Like, honestly, I'm so done with, like, I think there's too much bullshit. Like, just in general with everything. I just think about that all the time now. And I've started to try to, like, get it out of my life. Which is, like, we have all these pleasantries and all this professionalism and all of these ways that we need to do things. And it just annoys me. Like, it's like, just, my goal is the info. My goal is to get you the facts. That's it. I'm interested in the truth. Hi, have you seen the Have you seen the 23,000 sub train going on right now? No, that's not in my channel. Thanks for the 5. Okay. Wizard Cow, $5. Okay, so now we're at 508 for the fireworks thing. Professionalism can become kind of a cult. Yeah. You can literally spend... You're not paying attention, then say I don't understand the questions and get out of being asked again. That's not fucking true. I was taking notes the entire time on my other screen. I actually was, like, really engaged. The thing you have to keep in mind is, like, people are like, oh, like, so-and-so, like, their responses or whatever. But it is my job to do this, right? It's my job to communicate clearly. And not only that, it's not only my job to communicate clearly, but that's all I think about, too. So some people, like, they're streamers, but they don't think about communicating. But what I do is, like, I want to get you the fastest information possible. All right, I think I need to take a week, and then we'll start the show. You were taking notes and then also talking to people? I know you're just enthusiastic about what you talk about, so don't take offense to your... Yeah, I was. I mean, but that's my job. This is what I do full time, is I take notes and I listen to people and I communicate about issues like this. Every single question on that panel is shit that I do every day, right? So it's like, I'm like the fucking Navy SEAL of that panel. Like, I like come out of the toilet and I'm like, I have every answer. And it seems really cool, but it's just, I do this all day. So of course I have those answers. Okay, I'll be right back. The panel could have been 10 minutes. Yeah, I could have done. We had like probably like 7 or 8 other questions. I don't know. Okay. All right, welcome. This is the actual show. We're beginning. My only critique during the show was that you slouched quite a bit and made you look like a hunchback. Everything else was on point. Thank you for the constructive criticism. I meditated on my time stone for all possible ways that I could answer that question, and that was the best result I got. I don't care about this bright pledge. I don't care. All right, bam. Where are we at? Am I following Justin? Oh, he follows me, that feel. Okay, all right. I have to watch.
The gaming revolution, Twitch, the live streaming platform owned by Amazon, that is, temporarily suspending President Trump's channel, citing hateful conduct. All right, let's bring in Rod Slasher Breslau. He's a professional esports and streaming consultant. Great to have you, Rod. Are you surprised by this? Is this a political move?
Well, Twitch as a company, and from what I understand, this was based off of him re-airing the rally from 2016, where he infamously called Mexican immigrants rapists, and that specifically is the rally that was rebroadcasted for why they did this. Twitch internally as a company has tried to set themselves a little bit apart from Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, where they want to treat the president of the United States.
Not showing on stream? Wait, why? Oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hold on. What's going on? What year is this? Oh, I'm on the wrong display. Fuck me. Wait, what? What the fuck is going on? Uh-oh. Everything's fucked. All right, hang on. Guess to what? Everything's fixed.
The States, which is Trump right now, just like any other user on the website. Now, that's been like a contested issue from both the left and the right on social media websites, but at least for Twitch, they wanted to make sure that Trump is the same as SimpleLord69 as a random person on the website, and that they would suspend him in the same way they would anybody else.
All right, we'll move on from that. Another one for you, Rod. With sports on pause, of course, because of the virus, people have been turning to esports to fill that void. They were already doing that by the millions before the virus, but in some strange way, has the pandemic increased the exposure of esports?
I mean, yeah. I mean, esports is the only sport out there in the world where you can play it online. That is where competitive video games, got its growth.
Where the fuck is he streaming from? He's got like a Victorian lamp, some fucking 1700s ass fucking English royalty painting, and then a fucking 2 baseball bats. What the fuck is happening here? Where is he streaming from? Where did he get this suit? This guy looks like a fucking recovering Alcoholics Anonymous person. Like, what is happening here?
To begin with, so with no one able to move across the country, competitive esports, competitive gaming has still gone on through all the major leagues. All the major leagues within 1 or 2 weeks were able to take their in-person events and then put them online. And we've had broadcasts and the games played professionally for the
It's a joke, Twitch chat. He looks very nice.
Last few months. And they've even broken record viewership while doing that. So at the same time, you had something like NASCAR, which was able to put on their iRacing events when there wasn't a real NASCAR. And that really gave a sense of peace for a lot of NASCAR fans that weren't able to watch week after week. And then they're able to watch sim racing on TV. They really got into it, and now are fans afterwards.
Is there still plenty of room to grow for the esports gamers world? I mean, we're talking a lot of people. We're talking some really big money. I mean, is the sky the limit on this?
It is unbelievably apparent how little that news anchors know about the gaming industry when you hear them talk. It's actually insane. Like, they just have no idea of what's happening at all. Not even a concept. Like this guy, he goes home and he's like, there's a bunch of weirdos in a basement that are watching people play video games, and probably sacrificing babies to demons.
This phenomenon is what I call it.
I mean, yeah, these last few months have really been a big boom for professional gaming, but even with traditional sports coming back, that is not going to hurt the gamers at all. All the new fans that esports has gotten, whether it's Counter-Strike or League of Legends or Rocket League or simulated racing, is really going to transfer over to all those people that even when traditional sports comes back, they're going to keep watching gaming. Twitch and YouTube are bigger than ever before. Richard Tyler Blevins, Ninja, is now making $40 million off of a Mixer deal most recently. So competitive gaming and streamers overall are only going to continue to grow over the next few years.
The only thing this dude understood was that a gamer is making $40 million. That's what he saw.
Just out of interest, and before we leave, Rod, do you play yourself? Are you competitive?
Yes, I've been playing games myself for the last 20 years.
Cap!
I mean, I've always been a gamer my whole life, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon. I'm going to continue being in the industry and the niche that I love, and I'm really here to try to help make this mainstream a thing for everybody.
He could have literally told him that he was like the #1 best gamer. This dude just would have accepted
the dream,
it.
as they say. Rod Breslau. Rod, thank you so much for joining us today. Really
I'm the best gamer of all gamers.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Slasher's a gem, dude. We need more. How do I stop this? Okay, Slasher is like actually a gem. This dude is a person who represents the industry well. That's what we need. That was good. Yeah, I always love Slasher's takes on these things. I think he does really well. Like, I give him a lot of shit. The truth is, I don't think I would not be anywhere close to being able to, like, I would freeze up and become a total potato on, I really would. Like, I just become an enormous potato on a show like that because, like, I don't know what I would do on, check the Senpai thing trending. Why? Like, what do you want me to talk about? Slasher doesn't care about anyone. Yeah, but that's why it's important. He's an equal opportunity asshole. So like it appeals to like everybody, right? And every industry needs one of those people. That was very loud, sorry. Yeah, unless it has any kind of interest from an industry perspective, I'm honestly not interested in covering it. Hopefully that makes sense. It's really weird to me that Twitch is utterly ignoring the sexual allegations against the Twitch staff member Hassan. Very odd. Very strange. I think it's interesting she's not banned. 24 and 14 seems pretty serious. She still has a channel. So does Fed. I think that this is going to be one of those things that Twitch is really inconsistent about. And actually, this might be the worst case of it. So far it is, and I hope that it doesn't end up being that. Because what's happening right now is that Twitch literally banned all of these small channels that don't matter, but then they're leaving all of the channels up that are partners or staff members. And if Twitch continues to do this, that's going to be a very bad look. Like I said, they should 100% ban Fed if they're going to stay true to their, if they're going to stay true to like what their blog post said, then they should be banning every single person with credible sexual misconduct allegations. Period. That's what they said they're going to do in their blog post, but the only people that have been banned are like fucking 100 concurrent viewer streamers, which is fucked. No, Fed's not banned. To my knowledge, is he, chat? I don't think he is. So like, I think we're gonna have to do a very angry video about this subject if that ends up being the case. I mean, I'm gonna give Twitch more time because I know for a fact even that Twitch is literally overwhelmed. Like, the trust and safety team is overwhelmed, like working 24/7 to sort out this fucking shit show. 1 sec, let me answer something. Because Twitch has to individually investigate every single one of these cases with their trust and safety team, and they probably weren't ramped up to do it. $50 Novavu, thank you very much. Fireworks fund is... Holy shit, Novavu, Jesus Christ. Fireworks fund is 550. Oh, we have to do the Hall of Fame thing. I got to do that like right away. Yeah, exclamation mark fireworks. Like I said, I don't know if I'm really interested in covering this because I think it doesn't really have like relevance to the gaming industry. Sorry, that sounds really bad. What I mean is like in the sense of affecting the business, right? I want to be very careful not to get mired up in this stream and like every individual like case of drama or like even if this is incredibly fucked up, right? Like, I'm tied between the fact that like I want to cover stuff like this in order to broadcast the importance of being aware of like sexual misconduct, but also the fact that I am a industry streamer and I try not to concern myself with like things that are going on like this unless they have a direct effect on the business world. So that's not to downplay the importance of something like this. Everyone should read it and everyone should be engaged with it and everyone should act. And that's the reason I'm platforming it right now. But there are other streamers who cover this kind of stuff. We'll read it all the way through it. We'll talk about it. I don't have much to add because this doesn't affect like the monetary side of the business very substantially. Destiny and Hassan have it covered. Yeah, that's another good way to say it. Much better broadcasters do it than me. Won't there be a legal aspect to these bans? No, not one that they can win anyway. Because like none of the brands can no one can fight Twitch on their own terms of service. Like, if Twitch bans you, Destiny got banned. Did he really? Wait, really? No, he's live right now. You guys are fucking dumb. He's playing some game. Or watching some game or something. I was gonna say, are we not having D&D tonight? He's banned from LSF? Yeah, but that's whatever. Okay, Hall of Fame stuff. Let's do that. One of my big concerns with the sexual allegations thing, I mentioned this basically the first day that it happened, was I was really worried that the volume of cases would lead to some cases getting ignored, and it appears that's happening. I think that Twitch might feel like they can get under the radar and that there's so many cases that are like really high profile, like Fedmeisters and stuff like that, that like some of these other ones will slip under. And that concerns me a lot because every single one of those stories should be addressed in turn and something should be done about them. That worries me. I was worried about that in the beginning. It's just an influx of information, like throw so much at people that they can't parse through all of it, you know? Fed's case was covered by CNN. Man, it's fucking crazy that Twitch hasn't banned him. It's actually fucking insane. Do you know how big Twitch trust and safety team is? I don't know. I actually don't know that. Trust and safety is a really, really hard thing to get information about. I rarely ever see any of those people publicly. I've talked to a few of them, and it's very rare that you see a trust and safety person publicly because they have the ability to hide in the staff page. Like normally when you go into your chat, you can click on users, and you can see if you have staff in here. See if these two fuckers in here right now. These are, you know, but trust and safety can choose not to appear on that page, and they usually don't. A lot of trust and safety don't release any information about themselves for obvious reasons. So I don't. Pepe, it's okay. I love you. Oh, he's a 2-month sub. Thanks, Murray. I appreciate you. But the trust and safety guys, they're like very, man, I don't even know how to describe it. They're like very like clandestine. It's a word that I think I've never used on the stream, but is super appropriate in this instance. Do they come up in a different category on the users page? No, they outright don't appear if they don't choose to. It's really weird to me why Twitch wouldn't issue a ban on Fed. I think that would be one of the biggest statements that they could do to say we don't support sexual misconduct regardless of your brand size. I think it is a very bad look in the long term if they don't do that. But let me be very clear that it's entirely possible that Twitch is still evaluating that case, interviewing people, talking to people individually, and trying to make a decision on it. So it's very possible that still happens. Yeah, it would be a permanent ban, like by the letter of the law, as to say how they've put it up. It's weird how they were pretty quick in public on the first 4 or 5 people, then nothing later. That is weird. Yeah, I agree with you. It is weird. It makes me think that Fed and Hassan have a shot at getting out of this, and that's not good. Unless, of course, the allegations are investigated and found to be false, then fine. Yeah, right. But I think even that would need to be substantiated. It's weird. I don't know. Fed isn't getting out of anything. He's lost basically everything. No, that's not true. I think you'd be really surprised like how well a brand can recover. I'll tell you something about brands. This is like about people. The only time you get canceled is if you get physically banned from a platform. So like you get Alex Jones, you get like sent into the shadow realm by like the collective. Like Alex Jones was a crazy one because like Twitter, YouTube, everyone just simultaneously decided to like oust that guy. If you do something so crazy, that can happen, but the level that has to be to get to that is just so absurd. The truth is that usually people die because they cancel themselves. And if you don't allow yourself to be canceled, you don't get out of the mental game and you keep doing content, you can be a complete piece of shit and there will be some significant crowd of people that will orient themselves to you. And everyone in this chat can think of streamers that are really utter pieces of shit. Of course, I won't single them out. But and in my personal opinion, don't deserve a platform ever, right? They're just total dog shit people with horrible past, and they have a platform and thousands of viewers. Like it's just the way of things. Like if a person is narcissistic enough to not cancel themselves, then they don't get canceled. And the only way that stops that is if they get deplatformed. So that's not to say that Fed is like necessarily in that category of people, but it's just to like exemplify that if like Fed chooses to come back and like he gets over the mental game, then like he's gonna be able to circumvent that. it's actually like a pretty easy narrative, right? Like you take a year of therapy, you make a big YouTube video about how you've changed and like how you're coming back, and like donate to some charity, and that like that's like for abused women. Jump back into the YouTube game to a couple 100,000 followers, and you're back into the play. You just gotta wait. People will forget. People will like move on. You did the Logan Brothers strat? Well, that's where I'm getting this from. that's like. Yeah, so like Cyphus in chat is like, that's like a perfect example, right? Like Doc literally, like, think about Dr. Disrespect, who I've been like a very outspoken person against, so I'm not like really afraid of calling him out. This is a person that platforms that 5G causes coronavirus. This is a person that platforms that little rocks are going to protect you from diseases. This is a person that actively platforms fucking psychotic people that don't acknowledge science or any of the basic foundations of a functional society, while simultaneously cheating on his wife. And literally being a terrible role model for people that are 16 to 40 years old, and yet is given a platform and to tens of thousands of viewers, and people actually made it into a meme and made him even more popular. Like, pieces of shit exist all over the place. That's just the way that it is, unfortunately. In before the Doc apologists show up. Yeah, like... There's no way that Doc was serious about the Shogunite, though. It doesn't matter if he's serious, because you underestimate the amount of people that will take it seriously. So this is something that I talk about a lot. You have to be very aware that people that are playing a character where it is not certain if their character's motives or intents are clear, that's really, really dangerous, okay? Because what happens is if you take so this is like why Twitch banned Casey Tron for that one thing she said on the Austin show, where she talked about, I think it was the Austin show, where she talked about how, like, if coronavirus could just kill all the old people, like, we'd be good. And then Twitch banned her for that. Why, right? She could have been playing a character, because that's Casey Tron's character, but it doesn't matter. If you're playing a character and you say some dog shit thing, and it's an inside joke, but the 7,000 people that aren't part of your core community get that message, you're broadcasting a bad method. You're broadcasting a bad message in poor faith, and you should be held accountable to that. I refuse to accept that a person who is a character should be able to get off with saying some dumbass shit like 5G causes coronavirus in a way that you can't tell is serious or not, and then we give them a pass for that. That's fantastical to me. Fuck that. Like, I'm not okay with that. You have to be held accountable to what you say, right? Like, that's it. What about Stephen Colbert? Colbert doesn't broadcast that 5G causes coronavirus, or if he does it in such a sarcastic, and there's certain aspects of humor, right, where he does such a, like, clear way of saying that this is a over the top, that like clear way of, like, broadcasting this is like a ridiculous thing, right? That there's like a satire. Yeah. But when it's not clear to everyone, that's not good. Imagine getting mad at a streamer for saying crazy shit to 30K people when the president says crazier shit every day. So that's something in psychology that we call a false equivalence. So what you did was you said, okay, we shouldn't care about this because somebody is doing something worse. So I'm going to go shoot 10 people, and you don't need to arrest me because there's somebody else shooting 100 people. Your notion is insane. NMC, thank you for the 20, man. Let me put you on the list. Yeah. $20. Thank you. Let us do... Okay. So how do we do this? To help with your liberation from the British under 15 from This Is You On. Thank you very much. Thank you. What is wrong with believing that 5G causes coronavirus if people have a right to believe that? Well, because you can believe things that are actually very dangerous to society as a whole, right? Because believing something like that may cause irreparable damage to society. When are you going to stop playing the CEO character and return to the EVE Online life that you crave? I don't know. Another war is coming up, and I'm debating how many accounts I want to activate for it. I've committed, I think, at least one subcap pilot. I might commit 2 of my accounts. And if I'm really into it, I might commit my caps pilot, but I don't think I'm going to. I want to say how much I appreciate your short stories on YouTube about the Fisherman the King. I read that yesterday from you. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Wait, it's not October. It's June. Is it June 2020? Holy fuck. So what we're doing right now is I keep a manual list of people that support the stream. And for June 2020, I'm just adding this to our Discord so that it lives forever. It's just a way for me to thank people. We do this at the first of every month. Yeah, I know it's July, but it's but this is for June. This is for previous month. Does that make sense? So we're doing... Yeah, okay.
Yes. We are bored. We're all bored now. But has it ever occurred to you, Wally, that the process that creates this boredom...
So then we get a new list. How's the agency list coming on? We should be able to do some good work on it today. Was that a tier 3 sub? Yo, Shelbs, thanks for the 13 at tier 3. Thank you. Oh, you know what, Shelbs? Where are you? I'm going to give you something, if I can. Shelves, can you type something in sub chat? Anything really? Okay. Just a moment.
See, I think it's quite possible that the 1960s represented the last burst of the human being before he was extinguished. And that this is the beginning of the rest of the future now. That from now on, there'll simply be all these robots walking around, feeling nothing, thinking nothing.
I'm setting up something cool. Okay, this should work. Can you type again in sub chat? Fuck. It didn't work. Just a sec. How the fuck do I do this? All right. So Shelb said, and here's what's going on. Okay. I'm giving a gift to one of our members. Or I'm trying to. Oh, I think I understand how. Or maybe she can do it now. Can you change it, or do you need? Oh, okay, okay. I see, I see. Okay, I did it. That should work. Did it work? Yeah, we're messing with Discord roles. And I'm like, yeah, there we go. Good. Okay, there we go. So Shelbs mentioned offhandedly in sub chat that she wanted a pink color on the Discord, and I just gave her a role for that. Other people may be able to get the pink by request if I like you, which I don't like most of you, so good luck. But Shelbs is very cool and gives a lot of like really professional advice in the Discord, which I like a lot. Yeah. And yeah, tier 3 sub's a big deal. Okay, let's here we go. Only memeing from now on. I would do the same for any long-standing member of the community that's contributed a lot. Okay, so we're gonna copy all this stuff over. God, this month has actually been insane, dude. The top supporter. By the way, not everyone might be on this list. Because we missed a day. So if you aren't on this list, I will put you on manually if you email me. Did you get a haircut? Does it look like I got a haircut? Is this everybody? But why does it say month of April? God, I'm fucking dumb. Wait. What the fuck? Oh, these are top. Okay, I see. I agree with most of your takes, and you're really good at arguing your points, so I think you're pretty pog. Thanks, man. I mean, it's my job, right? So, well, I don't know if it's my job. It's just I think a lot about how to communicate. I think a lot about that all the time. I think it's really important. Holy shit, this has been an absolutely fucking insane month. Oh my god. The most insane... June was the most insane month we've ever had streaming. By a pretty big margin. It'll escalate? You think so? I don't even know. I don't think so. It probably won't get any bigger. Regina T, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. That's for the new month. Hang on, I gotta put that down somewhere else. Month of June. Time to go full time? Fuck that. I'm telling you right now, we could literally 5x the viewership of this stream and the income, and I would not do that. We could 10x it. We could 30x it. It would not matter. Rutso, thank you for the 6 gifted. Appreciate that. Styling. Thank you. I don't know what your average used to be. Well, I can only assume that all of y'all are just here temporarily. It's very weird that anyone would want to watch this stream at all. So, yeah, it's very cool that that's happening, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so there's the gifted subs. Okay. Yeah, I can only assume that everybody's just here for a short amount of time, but I really appreciate it. I watch you every day. Why? Okay. Month of June. Okay, supporters month of June. All right. Top tip of the month. All right. To watch streamers for their content or the parasocial relationship. Okay, hold on. All right, stop. All right. You're watching too much Destiny, okay? Parasocial is like a really weird way to describe the relationship with Twitch streamers. It always got me a little bit like weird that people like describe it that way. Because parasocial like inherently implies that the experience is illusory or not real, right? But that's not true. Like the experience is real. Like I'm not going to say like I really am your friend, right? But like the experience and the emotions that you're getting from me are real. Like if I make you laugh or if I make you mad or whatever, those are like real reactions because we're directly interacting. So like a true parasocial relationship is like you watching a TV and then you thinking that TV celebrity knows you, but they don't know who you are. You know what I mean? Whereas I do know who most of you are. Like if you're regulars here and you speak on a pretty regular basis, I know who you are. And some people I know very well. Like, I can pull up people in chat. Like, okay, Coolski, reformed shitposter who's doing pretty well right now and used to drive me crazy. Shibo, actually one of the people that's one of my actual real life friends who I've now met and like is a very cool guy that I play Path of Exile with. Who else? Like, John Jaded, a guy that has dumb takes that pisses me off a bunch, but sometimes they're good. Net Yellow, huge stream supporter, very kind and says really good shit. Kafira, literally one of my oldest people in the stream, like gone back 7-8 years, met, like talked to, huge friend. Play Eve with him. Awesome dude. Would trust him with my life, basically. Yeah, see, like, you can't... The point is, like, you can't do that in a true parasocial relationship. What I just did doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't exist. You can't do that.
Are we living in a simulation, David?
Another $50 from Novo. Holy shit. Are we living in a simulation? That's 600 for fireworks from Novo. Holy shit. I don't think so. I don't think that we're living in a simulation. But I don't know. It's possible. Well, okay, actually, hang on. I actually have an answer to this question. Because the answer is the Buddhist question. It's the same answer for the God question. The way that a Buddhist would answer this question is it doesn't matter. Because whether we're living in a simulation or not, it's indiscernible from whatever reality is. So spend no time thinking about it. Just spend time thinking about your self-improvement, ending suffering, and improving the world. That's the actual answer. All right, now we need to make this a link. Are you buying fireworks or a nuke? Apparently a bit of both. Yeah, people ask like too many fucking questions. Like, what's the implications of the moral axiom of the deterministic future of the roundabout retro cat butt? And it's like, just, dude, like, that question will never affect you in any discernible way. Like, help with the old lady across the street. Just like, stop with this shit. It's fucking crazy. Like, they're just thought exercises that move you further into, like, the realm of, like, trapping you in the mind, right? Which is, like, an inherent neurotic proposition. Do any of the Buddhist teachings you follow conflict with the typical esports landscape? What an interesting analogy. I mean, I guess in Buddhist teaching, everything is going to fade into oblivion and fade out in an existential cold vacuum. So in the same way, esports is already that. So I think Buddhism and esports go along very well. Do you ever miss being directly involved in the league scene? Bro, I have never once missed that. And I'm not memeing. I have never once been like, wow, I wish I could go back to the days of when I was in League of Legends Esports. That never happened. Hi, I've been having a great time watching you. Could you look at this clip? Would you love to hear you? Thanks. It's my clip of me dancing. Thank you, Third Goat. Appreciate your donation to the fire. Whoa, Joe Santi with the tier 3. That's an insane amount of support. Let's go. Thank you. That's like asking if you ever miss being a virgin. Holy shit. Thank you very much. Don't you need to consider some weird questions in order to get to the point of realizing their futility? No, I mean, like, the case in point is that it's entirely possible to become like an enlightened being and never have any kind of exposure to that, to like modern philosophy or anything like that, right? Like, those are like Hinduism and Buddhism teach us that. There's plenty of people that just sat in a cave and they got there. Like, you don't need any external teachers. You can do everything within yourself. Here's my fireworks contribution and my weekly donation. Thank you, Zava. Appreciate that. Why don't you make a fake sub goal of 1 million subs for the Doc Week, but just cash out and run? Well, because I'm not entirely a piece of shit. But also because I already told you guys the answer a bunch of times. Just nobody's listening to me. Sophia, thank you for the 5 gifted. Sophia Sile, 5 gifted subs. I don't know if I agree with that. That seems like putting the cart before the horse. Because you're a person that does nothing but think in your own head all day. So, of course, you don't agree with that. But the experience of reality isn't through thought. If you want to prove that to yourself, just take psychedelics. you'll learn real quickly what I mean. Net Yellow, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Let's go. Okay, hang on. Create. Link. Whoops. Devin, June 2020 supporter. Yeah, okay. This link should work.
Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun.
It does, cool. I told you guys the reason why Dr. Disrespect got banned is because they actually found out that he wasn't a real doctor. And you can't just do that, man. You gotta, like, have degrees and shit. So they went after him. Dr. Lupo is next, dude. Dr. K is a real doctor. That's fine. He's okay. Like, all Dr. Disrespect had to do is just rename his stream to Mr. Disrespect, and he would have been fine. Nomic Tool says, I love your videos on YouTube, and I'm glad we could finally catch a stream. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the theory of that lawyer from Hoag Blog regarding the Dr. Disrespect ban. Like I said, I just told you why he's banned. What do you think of the psychology behind viewers giving money to streamers via subs and bits, etc.? Like, why do we do it? I mean, I can only speak to my community. My community does it because they're basically paying up for the time I spend with their moms, but, like, other ones, I don't know. What's the total up to? So we just added 5. Here, I'll add, like, a screen. So Anomic Tool adds 5, and Ethan's stepson adds 10. I don't know if that's really Ethan's stepson. Might be. The total right now is $630. It's around $650. I'll get it for you in a minute. But I gotta finish doing this. $20 to 25 people got canceled in the Smash community? Wait, really? That's actually insane. Insane. I will be spending the 4th of July by myself, so I'm expecting the show, and I love your streams. Thank you for the content. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate your donation. That you are actually 100% what this stream is for, is so that you can hang out with us and, like, have a good time. Thank you very much for your 25. I appreciate that, man. Okay, so we're going to add a new section here. This is going to be June 2020. Oh, I think it's actually the same. And then submit. Turn off edit panels. Quick. Fuck yeah. Okay. Then we got to go edit the Discord. Hall of Fame document. Hell yeah. Okay. Now we're done. Now we got to go to add the people that have done the fireworks today. Do you think we'll eventually find out the reason for the doc ban? I just told you the reason. Holy shit. Dane1, thanks for the sub. Oh. I just got here. The reason why they banned Dr. Disrespect is they found out he's not a real doctor. So what ended up happening was he didn't have a license or whatever, so they got rid of him. This is what happened. Okay, we're going to add another section for fireworks special. Just for today. Wait. How does this... I learned more about business from you than my MBA program. Fuck yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the thing about the fireworks is we're doing a bonus stream on Saturday. I don't normally stream weekends, but I am streaming this time because I just want to add some like positivity. Holy shit. We've had like the last like 2 weeks and I've just felt like, I'm sure like most of you, I felt like really stressed just from all the fucking shit happening in the gaming industry. I just want to run a very cool stream where it's all positive vibes. We're going to one of my very good friends' houses, Ethan, and we're going to buy an absurd amount of fireworks. And then we're going to blow them up and just have a good time and hang out with you guys. And that's going to be Saturday's stream. I will let you know what time it will be. I think it'll be around 5 to 6 p.m. PST. But there will also be a VOD and stuff, so you guys can check it out. Okay. Sim Lord 69. Okay, that's everybody, I think. No. Wait, one more. Well, we're going to cap it off pretty soon. So right now, I think I'm probably going to cap it at... I would think like $750 is probably enough, right? Like, that's a shit ton of fireworks. That's like a fucking crazy amount. Like... Isn't it? How much do fireworks cost? Buy fireworks. I used to own a large fireworks place. I just Googled buy fireworks online. Holy shit, this is fucking insanely complicated. Artillery shells? What the fuck? You're now on a list? I'm already on a list. Fuck it.
Your stream is great and it taught me a lot about stuff you wouldn't otherwise know or
Your stream is great and has taught me a lot of stuff about I wouldn't otherwise know or care about. Do you have any suggestions for how I can keep myself motivated? The number one thing to remember about motivation is that motivation in the form that you think it exists doesn't exist. And the sooner that you get that out of your head, that you need to be motivated, the faster you'll actually become successful. Because it's not a matter of motivation, it's a matter of discipline. You need to have the discipline to actually get yourself to do things, and you start that by doing very small things. Make your bed in the morning, make sure you brush your teeth, try to eat one healthy meal a day, do something very small, and then that discipline will be your motivation. You can't rely on motivation at all to do something. You have to realize at some point that the accountability and the ownership is going to be on you. The only thing you can do is say, listen, I fucking own this. I'm going to solve these problems. I'm going to do this myself. I'm never going to feel differently unless I decide to do something right now. There's never going to be a time in the future where I say, okay, this is the time, or I'm going to feel it. You can't rely on like your days where you just feel good and this is the day that you're going to do something. It has to be now. That's the only time you have. Your life exists in a series of present moments. You have no effective past except for a vague conception of it, and you have no future because it's not determined. So you only exist in a consistent series of moments, and the only time that you have is this moment right now to change something, and this one, and this one, and this one. So you can't decide to do something different later. You have to do it now. So motivation is like a really big illusion. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, gift subs.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Damn, Geo bro with the 50. Boom goes the dynamite. Hell yeah. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Thank you, dude. That's good shit. All right, so let's do a running total right now. Damn, you guys are killer. Thank you. This is everybody. Novo just going fucking insane. Thank you. He's putting on this show for you guys, basically. 15, 5, 10, 25, 10, 50. Okay, so 751 right now. Is it better to upload a video on a dead YouTube channel with 60k subs or a fresh one? Dead channel. Always dead channel. That's probably enough. Yeah, I think that's probably enough. I'll cap it at 800. Yeah, it's fine. The problem is, guys, we're gonna run out of time. That's what I don't want to have happen. I don't want to, like, be blowing up fireworks for fucking 6 hours with you guys. It's gonna be fucking insane. I want to, like, hang out with my friend, like. So, like, I think it's gonna, you know, if we spend intelligently, it will be very good. The other thing too is I don't want to, like, tax the community too much. Like, I really don't like doing these. I'm doing this because Ethan's family is, like, very cool, and this will make his kids, like, super happy. So, like, they'll be really, really happy to do this. And that's like I'm doing, like, this kind of, like, special thing. I really don't like asking the community for anything. Also, I'm going to be throwing something in on top of this as well. So, like, it's going to be pretty big. Yeah. 100K fireworks show. Studsy, you always have some damn good takes. Thanks for being you, my man. Thank you, Studsy. Nice. Thank you for the 11. Studsy 11. Is 762. You think I've got more than enough? Okay. Novovu putting in the 50. 650 brings it to... $812. Yeah. Okay, we're good. I think that's good. Novovu, thank you, man. That is... Novovu is putting on this show, dude. Clap it up. That's insane. Yeah. That's very good. I think we're way over. Okay. And thank you very much. Appreciate it. If you want to donate at this point, it goes to the stream and supporting the stream. Thank you. Thank you so much, though. This is very cool. We will try to put on a good show for you guys on Saturday. Just have some fun. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's fucking awesome. I think we'll have a really great show on Saturday. Hope it makes a lot of people happy. Discovered you about 3 days ago, and I've been watching your YouTube stuff nonstop. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, Scarnoy with the 5. Thanks. All right, that goes into the normal supporters tab. Thank you. And you're technically the top supporter now. Also, thank you very much for the 5. Month of July. All right, we're in July now. Yeah. Fireworks sponsored by Prime. Okay, so we finished that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I have 2 games that I enjoy playing and streaming. One is much bigger than the other. Should I pick based on how big I can grow or what I should be the defining factor? What is the streamer gauntlet? It doesn't matter which one you pick because you're not going to get discovered either way. That's the actual answer. Your real thing should just be make content about what you want to do because it's not going to be sustainable otherwise. So like, it doesn't really matter if, people are making way too many decisions about how to be successful in business based on like, oh, like what is the market doing? Like okay, so like, should you play League of Legends because League of Legends is technically the most successful game? Well, no, because you're going to go fucking insane playing that game because that game is dog shit, right? So it's like, if you're trying to build a career based on the idea that like something is like more successful in a macroscopic way, then like you're already fucking up. You want to build a career based on what you are actually thinking about, is interesting in what you're passionate with. Does that make sense? Is there an advantage in having a dono board? No, I just do it because I think the people that support us are cool. Yeah. What I'm saying is people overthink shit a lot. And they just like, they think that there's like some answer, but that like has like no bearing. Any tips on choosing a username? Just don't choose a username that's your real name. Anyone that streams that's like has your real name is like a fucking idiot. I couldn't imagine anybody that would actually stream with their real name. What a fucking dumbass that would be. Whatever you do, don't do that. Typically, if you can get something that's like 2 syllables is really good and obviously easy to spell. Like, I would think these are like pretty easy. Like, if you can get something like, I don't know, like Dong Lord. Okay, like Dong Lord is a pretty good name because number one, everyone understands what that's about. Actually, Dong Lord is like one of the best brand names I've ever come up with. I think I'm gonna name my next company Dong Lord, or actually that'll be my title of my position in that company. Or maybe I could just rename myself to... Let me ask my business partner if I could rename myself to Dong Lord. He'll probably say no. But... but can he really stop me if I'm adamant about it? I need more green tea. Hang on. Well, if I just said that I was, like, the Dong Lord of Nerd Fusion, like, could they stop me, really? It's been real nice to have you here sooner and get to hang out with a bit longer than usual. I always try to do my streams earlier, but then, like, you know, the problem with it is that, like, Path of Exile is a really good game, so it's kind of hard for me to... How would you rate mine? Novo is a Latin word that can mean to make a new, refresh, revive, and change. Well, so I like the name Novo quite a bit because our business, the business side of our agency is named Novo Studios. So Novo Studios is actually the name of Nerd Fusion's creative studio. That's why on our branding it says Novo. That's how much I like it. So yes, I like Novo quite a bit. I think that's a great name for a business. Yeah. It just so happens that our company is named Novo on the creative side. Sue him. We own the trademark. And also, you could have multiple different Novos, right? As long as they're within different industries. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a great name. Great minds, dude. Also, thanks for the 50. Top donation of the month. $50. Holy shit. And 40 from Net Yellow. They may buy you fireworks, but we all know that the food is more important. Dinner is on me. Thank you, Net Yellow. Coming in hot, dude, because I have to order food to the office today because I have Dungeons & Dragons. So that was really cool of you, man. Thank you very much. Our trademark is Novo Vu, not Novo. Oh. So where did you get the Vu from? Thank you both. Appreciate it. Hut Fut? That's a good name. Nobody can fuck it up. Okay, you guys want to know, like, a really shitty brand name? I'll give you an example, okay? This is a really shitty name for a brand. Okay? Whoever names themselves this is a fucking idiot. Because, number one, how the fuck do you spell that? If you just say Mylixia, it's extremely difficult to, like, actually spell, right? And people will fuck that up and not go to your Twitch channel. Dude, I have a meme, unironically. No one cared who I was until I put on the Nash, but it's actually true. Because that fucking Mylixia name was baiting me, dude. Like, there was no way that I was ever going to be able to get out into the big leagues. Until I got rid of that name. Your talk with Ludwig has made me really start to think about what I can do to stand up and shake things out. Good, man. Good. Start with removing the senpai from your name. No, I'm kidding. All right, what kind of tea do I want? I really want this tea, but I don't have much of it left. I don't have much of a lot of the tea left. All you fuckers are buying from my supply after I started recommending my tea place. You fucking shitters. God damn it. I really need to make my own brand of tea. Might be. Thoughts on esports teams signing chess players? Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, this viewer hours, right? Again, esports teams don't sign Twitch people based on their competitive nature. They sign it based on their viewer hours. So it's like Team Liquid is not signing Hikaru allegedly. I guess that's like in rumors of being happening. I don't know for sure if it is. I really don't know. Like, I'm not just saying I don't know. They signed Hikaru for his viewer hours. Name it Dong Lord T. I think in 2020 people would call me racist. That's the really sad thing about that. That's the actual sad thing about that. Is I think in 2020 people would call me racist if I did that. Otherwise, I'd 100% do it. How is Dong Lord racist? Because Dong could be considered like a play on like a Chinese name. And it's selling Chinese green tea. So they go, oh, it's a white guy with a company and he named it Dong Lord. Like, yeah, it's like... Hikaru said he's talking to an org. I would assume that Hikaru is talking to many orgs. You know what's really crazy is like, our VOD views are like fucking nuts. If I go over here and I click the fucking button that gets me to the video page that nobody understands, look at these VOD views. These are fucking crazy. 4K people on, I don't even, what do we do on this stream? I don't even know. 3K, 3.9, fucking shit ton of people watching VODs. It's really nuts. All those people that are watching the VODs, hello. I'm speaking to you in the present, but for you, for me, it's the past. But for you, it's the present and also the future. Right? It's pretty cool. I think that means if I streamed earlier, all those people would be here. Which kind of feels bad, man. But then all the people late would not be here. What's the benefit of a large streamer signing with an org? They get paid monthly to do so. I think I'm going to order food for the office today, so I'm going to go check with the guys in a minute to see if they want me to get them something to eat. because they're filming today, and I wanted to buy people food. I think. I don't know if Matt's still here. What's your average view time compared to the average? I don't know. I don't look at my own stats usually. So I, ironically, I'm like Darth Plagueis the Wise, dude. I could save everyone from dying except myself. I don't look at my own analytics because I get too gamed on my system. This is the same reason why I am very careful about like revealing my own view count to myself. I try to never know what my view count is, because if I do, then I game myself into running a bad show. Do you usually greet Matt with the same hey as you greet us? Yes, I did. I mean, it just depends. Like, Matt's also like one of my best friends, right? So I made fun of him today for wearing blue jeans and riding a bicycle. Because I'm the fucking sweatpants club, dude. Just sweatpants 24/7. I made a legit attempt to wear like actual business clothes for a while. Some of you older viewers may remember this. And then COVID hit, and I just fucking gave up. I don't think I'm going back, dude. The truth is, like, no one cares. I think I got into the habit of wearing good clothes in esports because, like, I needed to be a forward-facing person in the industry. And so, like, it mattered if you were kind of dressed well, because, like, when you're on site in an office with, like, 100 people, like, they actually kind of pay attention to shit like that. But, like, when it gets to it, like, here, I'm just, like, sitting in my fucking studio. I mean, in a way, there's even more people, but I don't know, fuck it. Nobody cares. Everyone just calls me a douchebag if I dress well. Would you start a consulting business? I do consulting, ! Consulting. But I don't take many clients. I usually don't take clients. You stream from your office? Yeah. Wait, fucking ! Consulting is gone because I fucking deleted all my commands. Hang on, I'll get it back. Because I have a list. It's not my fault that I deleted all my commands, Twitch chat. The fucking command is right next to... You can't tell me you wouldn't hit this. You hit remove for a command or remove all. Remove all deletes every command you have with no... Did I just do it again? Oh, okay. Oh my god. Holy shit. I almost just got fucking butt detonated. Holy shit. Fuck. Oh my god. I would have lost my mind. Holy shit. This fucking program. Alright, it's back. ! Consulting. I sent you a list of all your commands. I know, I'm using it. That's why I was able to add that command back. That interface is awful? Yeah, it just fucks you. So I do consulting. Look, I have this fucking stock image. You want to be this chick with this fucking business suit? You want to be looking at papers with fucking expensive pens and glasses and books and glasses of water in a fucking office? This will be you. But let me tell you right now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, wait a minute. I'm a small streamer, and I'm going to get in front of Devin, and he's going to tell me how to grow my stream. Wrong. I'm not going to accept you as a client, because you will never get your $500 back. Ever. You'll never make that money back. Ever. You'll never do it. Okay? So even if I fucking tell you the fucking answer to the riddle sphinx, you'll not do it. So I turn down if you're thinking about coming to me as a content creator, I will turn you down automatically unless you can prove to me that you're going to make more money off of it. Because I am not going to fuck over my clientele and bleed money from people. That is ethically not good. I typically only do it for businesses or people that really have interesting problems. Is it only for content creators, though? No, the vast majority of my consulting is for esports teams and businesses. But to be completely frank, I don't have time. Just ask me questions in Twitch chat, and you can get that advice for free. Also, if you're a content creator and you want advice, like, I give you the literal absolute best stuff that I have on my Devin Nash channel. I literally do. Absolutely, my best shit is on this channel. All my knowledge, everything, no secrets, no $15 paywall, no fucking Udemy course. Just this is it. You get everything. 69.9K subscribers. No one subscribed to this ever again. That's where we're gonna end up, unless all of you subscribe at the same time, and then we get 690K. 0.69. That's acceptable. Is it worth putting money into Google, Facebook, Insta ads if you're a small, medium-sized streamer? Let me tell you right now that it is not worth it. I put money into that, and we threw a couple $1,000s at that. Actually, I've done it several times, and it never produces an ROI because while you do get the traffic, the traffic bounces instantly. So, like, you will get somebody that comes in from Facebook, but they'll bounce from your stream instantly and they won't become a loyal viewer. Literally, you'll get almost zero conversion off of that. There's way better ways to spend your money. Do you have any experience doing PPC for Amazon affiliates? Yeah, that's how I got started. Except not with Amazon, just PPC for affiliates. How long did it take until CLG to become profitable? We're still waiting, bro. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, we're going to have to fucking ask a time traveler from, like, the year 2050. And it will be like, yo, is CLG profitable? And they'll be like, let me check. Nope. Also, the fucking cockroaches are the master race now. Trump got another term in 2020. Hi, I appreciate you just putting all this knowledge out there. Just found out last week it'd be a great apart from a bit from my, from where you fly my mom and Eve, but I'm over it now. I mean, sure. It's not like a big deal. It's like, you know, I'm just trying to help. Yeah. The fireworks command is disabled because we're done with that. All donations now go to me. You will be, you're paying for me, Mil W. You're supporting me, Mario. If you email my resume, if I email you my resume, will you look it over? No. Did you pass CLG in subs? Did we? That's like my life goal. Holy shit. If I do, I'm gonna pop the fattest dab and I'm gonna fucking knock over the, almost, dude. I'm so close. Oh man. I gotta do more consistent YouTube content. I think I can do it. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. It's all I want out of life. My goal is to pass CLG in subs. And then when I'm in LA the next time, I will walk into their office, and yes, I know where it is. I will walk into the middle of the office, ignore any attempts to hail me. I will pop the fattest dab. It will register as like a 9.8 earthquake in Los Angeles. That's how hard I'm going to dab. And then I will quietly walk out without a word. They won't even know what it's about, but it doesn't matter. $70K? Really? Oh, we're 8,000 off. Oh my god. Oh god. I wonder if we can hit it. Oh man. What's your beef with CLG? It's a meme. Because I ran the company. I was the person that ran CLG before we sold to Madison Square Garden. So the meme is that if I can get myself bigger than it, it's just a very funny thing. Within 30 days, easy. It depends on how much we upload, I think. Earning $300 a day from YouTube? Yeah, that would be fucking amazing. That's not happening. Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think these numbers are actually accurate because it wouldn't be these even numbers like this. I don't think this is reporting correctly. Have you ever thought about trying to help startup produce shows on Twitch such as dedicated news stations while sticking to your own content? Why would I want to do that? They round up from the YouTube approximates. Oh, okay. Because the API changed. Mm-hmm. Why does your YouTube channel make so little money? We just don't get a lot of views. Like 100K, like 40 to 50K views a video is not that much. That's not to say we're not doing great. I mean, we're doing so I don't really think of it in terms of money. I mean, I'm thinking of it in terms of like, holy shit, this video got 100K views. Like, that's fucking amazing to me. But like YouTube just doesn't, I don't know. I thought people could sustain themselves around 50K per video. It depends on what industry, because CPM is variable based on demand, right? Let me show you guys something. I think I talk about CPM a lot, and I'd like people to understand it more. And I think there's a way I can do that pretty easily. Give me a sec. This is something I've never shown on stream. Oh, but it has personal information. How do we get around this? I don't think we can. It's really dumb that they... Well, this is supposed to be, like, internal, so it makes sense why. Actually, I know how to do it. I'll just use a dummy account. It's not real. Here, give me a sec to set this up and it will make sense. Fuck, okay. This is fucking impossible. Oh my god, why is it doing this? Like, I'm trying to log in and I'm trying to show you something with Google Ads, but it keeps fucking prompting me for this shit. I can't go to the fucking, oh, switch to expert mode. Should do it. I'm trying to get into the Google AdWords keyword planner without fucking it up. That's not my phone number, dumbass. It's just a random account number that they appointed to me. You can call that number right now. It for some reason looks exactly like a phone number. Hacker man, dude. Okay, create a campaign without goals and guidance. So we'll do a search. Actually, we'll do a display ad. I'm just trying to get through this campaign screen so I can show you guys a tool. Create campaign. Okay. Oh, it's not going to let me do it unless you're actually in an unless you actually have a legit account. That's annoying. Okay. Holy fuck. Maybe I can find something on Google to explain it. Because this is gonna be so good. I was gonna show you in real time. I can't show you on my real account that runs the ads though, because it has a ton of personal information. See how this works. Can't you just screenshot the stuff that you can show us? Oh. Yeah, actually. Yes. I thought of that before. Hang on. All right. Okay, so thoughts on wait, what's this? Thoughts on the 622 ruling on the FaZe versus Tfue lawsuit. Banks' testimony at disposition really sunk FaZe's MSJ on interpreting the contract to allow them to collect on creator codes. I'm not following it enough to know. I wish I haven't been following this enough to know what's actually going on with the case. But that's actually really interesting. I don't know. What implications do you think it has? Because I don't think I've been following the case well enough to say either way if they are going to what's happening with that. I'd have to ask somebody that's more in the know. 200 bits, thank you, says, glad I found you again. Oh, Azaleo. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, I wonder where you've been. Good to see you again. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling up the Google keyword tool to show you guys how it works. And you can only do that if you have a campaign that actually runs ads, which I do have, but I didn't want to show you guys it because secrets. Okay, so tools. You have to actually spend money with Google to get this, I guess, which is not hard, but all right. So this is how it works. So let's say that I type something like esports, okay? And then I'm going to screenshot something for you real quick. So, nope, that's not a good... Well, it kind of gives you an example. So I'm going to look at esports as an example, okay? And it's going to pull up a this, okay? And this is basically the amount of ads that are run on Google every month, the amount of clicks that it gets, the cost per click, so it costs on average $3 per click, and the amount of impressions. That's the amount of people that see it but do not click. So you can see it's 27,806 impressions. Out of those amount of people, 1,380 of them click, and the CTR is 5%, which is very high. Normally, a good click-through rate on Google text ads are like 1 to 2%. So what we can do is we can discover new keywords. Like if we type esports again and we go into something like this, I'll like try to explain like the basics of like why this is really important. Okay. So if I then take this one, actually let's add some more stuff first. I'll add gaming, and I'll get results on that, and we'll see where that puts us. So it's calculating. Okay. And we put this here. I'll show you guys. So the keyword here, gaming, has $1.99, but at the top of the page is $5.47, which is way more expensive than the esports one, which is $5 and $3 respectively for a cost per click. This refers to cost per click, right? This gives you an idea of how often that thing is being searched. So the way that cost per mulate, so literally the reason why I'm explaining this, even though I understand this is like super complicated, if you understand this concept, you literally understand the ad. You need to understand nothing else about advertising. This is all that you need to understand. The way that CPM works, and when streamers are referring to CPM, okay, the cost per 1,000 impressions, right? And the way the way that Google or any ad network really, let's use another one like what's another ad network? Bing is one, but that's not like really a real ad network. I guess like Facebook. The way that they determine this is they take the popularity of the keyword, so how often people search it, the CTR, how often people click on it, and then they take there's some other subjective factors that don't really matter. What they do is they assign a dollar value to literally every single phrase or word in the English language. Okay? And they then put some kind of price tag on that. Okay, so the way that it functions is you can have a keyword. So like if I use a keyword like one of the keywords that I used to bid on for my ebooks that I sold was bronchitis. I have no idea what it's doing today. So why don't they call it CPI? You know, I never did find out why they don't do that. I don't know. But let's use one like meal delivery, okay? And we'll find out where that one's at, because I think it's more like of a recent keyword that people are selling. So if you want meal delivery, you can take a look at this, okay? I promise this is going to make more sense in a second. Okay, so meal delivery is considered a very high competition keyword, and basically that's represented through the CTR, right, and the popularity of the keyword. I'm sorry, another really key aspect of this is competition, right? So how many people are bidding on this keyword? Which I thought was something that I included in popularity, but it doesn't. It does, but it doesn't really explain it. Okay. So why would this be useful to know that for me to get to the top of meal delivery, so when I go to Google and I type meal delivery, right, what shows up and what ads show up? Okay, assuming that I don't have ad block, what comes up here? Okay, so these people are bidding to be at the top of these pages. It costs $9 to be at the top of that. Sorry, it costs $9 that every time that you click on something, it takes you to that page. Okay, so why would you need to know this? Let's figure this out. This is where this information becomes really useful, and where you can use it to make like a fucking shitload of money. Let's say that you are HelloFresh. Okay, you know that how much does HelloFresh cost to subscribe to? HelloFresh costs $6 and $7 per order. Okay. Is that right? So Shelb says it's about $120 a week. So let's go with that. $120 a week. Okay. So HelloFresh, $120 a week to the customer. Let's say that the average, just for the sake of argument, let's say that the average person spends 2 months ordering HelloFresh, which is a total of $960. Okay, you now have $960. So $960 gives you your average value per customer. Now, it's probably a lot more than this, right? Because most people forget their subscriptions or whatever. But let's just say that it's $960, okay? And again, these are arbitrary numbers. I'm just trying to teach you how this concept works, okay? So $960. So let's even make it even simpler and just say it's $1,000 for simplicity, plus $40, okay? So now what does this tell you? You have $1,000 as your average value per customer. Okay, but then we have to take out operating costs. So let's just say for the sake of it, costing food, packaging it up, whatever costs about half, okay? So you make about a 50% margin, just using very strong, even numbers to make this sense. And so you have a total of $500 to spend, or $500 extra now. Does that make sense? So what we did was we assumed that $1,000 is your average value per customer minus what it actually costs to actually spend the money. Okay. And sorry. Okay. Let me start over. Some guy in chat fucking tilted me with some dumbass comment. Holy fuck. Take two. Okay. You have $1,000 as the average value of your customer. You got there by calculating the amount per week that they spend. Okay. then you subtract what it costs you to get that money, which ends up being, let's say it's $500. Okay, so $500 equals a 50% margin. That's probably confusing to you. Don't need to worry about that. Equals, you have $500 left over. Okay. So what does that actually mean? That means that you now have up to $499 to spend on getting someone to spend that money, right? So so that literally means that I can spend up to $499 to get someone on HelloFresh. But actually, it's even more interesting than that because I can spend over $500. Does anyone in chat know why? Why can I spend over $500? This is a very hard question. We need some fucking 80-head brainers in there. Oh, fuck, dude. People are too smart, man. I'm so impressed. Oh, my God. Yes, the answer is because this particular form of revenue is reoccurring and is a subscription service, meaning that the value of the customer is going to be implicitly higher because they forget to drop their subscription. How many of you guys have fucking dumb subscriptions to Netflix or Hulu that you never use? And that's why the value per subscription is farther. How many of you guys have a fucking tier 1 sub to someone that you should probably cancel? Not me, by the way. And you just haven't done it, right? So the implicit value of a customer that goes on a subscription-based model is more valuable, okay? So you can actually spend more money to get this customer. So if we know that, then business becomes incredibly easy because we know now what we do. Back to our CPM example. Literally, this is a 15-minute talk about how to run any business, okay? Back to our CPM example. If you know that every click you get equals $9, you know that you have $500 to spend, maybe a little bit more than that, okay? Then the only thing you need to know is how many sales you get per click, right? So at a 1% conversion, let's say that you spend $900 on ads to get one customer, okay? Bad business model because you're losing $400 a customer, right? So we're going to have to get it cheaper than $9 to acquire a customer. So I can tell you, if we know the keyword meal delivery and we use this keyword and we know that out of 100 clicks, we have a 1% conversion rate, right? 9 times 100 is 900. That's bad. We spent too much on ads. We lose. Our business fails. So chat, how can we actually get a better rate? What do we do? How do you figure out conversion rate? It's super easy. You just look at the number of clicks and then the number of sales, right? So how many people bought out of how many people clicked. Very easy. Yeah. Correct. You use a better keyword. So now let's put in the same for HelloFresh meals is $5.69. So once again, using the same conversion rate, $5.69 times 100 brings us to $569 on ads. Now we're doing a little bit better. And the conversion rate is going to change dependent on the value of the or the type of keyword. But this is how we get super big brain. We need to outthink all of these people. Okay, because all these guys, all these marketers, these dumb marketers at HelloFresh, okay, what they're doing, I don't know if they're dumb, but what they're doing is they're just using these keywords and they're thinking it through. So we need to do better. We need to brain it out and say, let's say if I use a keyword, like let's go back to our keyword planner and let's use the keyword. I'm thinking on my feet here because normally this takes me like hours to research. Let's see. Let's use the keyword. Okay, so I did the keyword order food at home. Okay, so order food at home. Somebody's thinking about because the keyword is $5.29. But only $1.29 on the low end. Now, there also isn't a lot of searches, but this is a little bit disingenuous because I have it located in a specific area, so it's not, there's actually way more searches than this. But you can say that anyone that is looking for order food at home is most likely going to convert into a person who is a HelloFresh person, right? And you can test this. You can test this through doing things. So the more creative that we get with our keywords, the more that we can actually start to get a cheaper keyword. And eventually, let's say that we do this and we get a keyword down to $3 a click. We know there's a 1% conversion rate. 3 times 100 is 300. We're spending $300 on ads. We're making $200 in profit. And the process of this is how to run a business through digital media. I literally just explained it to you in 15 minutes. That's how you do it. Now, there's more to it, right? But that gives you an idea of how the principle works. So you can sell pretty much anything this way, right? Yeah, so that's I think the easiest way to explain how that works. And no, you don't necessarily need a good product, right? Because a lot of the time you can have a dog shit product and people will still buy it with good advertising. That's a whole nother discussion. We could get into that. Lots of people, dude, like marketing's job is to convince you that a dog shit product actually can work, and like that you're gonna buy it anyway. And okay, so this is the basis, by the way, of I guess we'll tie it back into Twitch. Now you guys can style on all the Twitch streamers you watch, okay? So the CPM of a Twitch streamer is a little bit disingenuous, okay? Because in the true sense of the CPM word, CPM should be based dynamically on the demand that a broadcaster has, but it's not. Okay, so Twitch sells advertising at a flat rate, which I think I'm NDA'd and I can't tell you what that is. And then Twitch pays out streamers at a flat rate, which is also NDA'd that I can't tell you what it is. Want to know why it's NDA'd? Because Twitch it's highway robbery how much Twitch sells these ads for compared to what they pay streamers out to. Like, it's actually fucking insane. So, Twitch sells advertising at a flat rate, and then Twitch pays out a streamers a flat rate and collects the most off the top. If you understand this, I read a tweet today that drove me insane. It was from Harris Heller, who said Twitch would solve their ad bounce rate problem if they made their entire platform ad-free to anyone with 4 or more active subscriptions. This is the ravings of a madman, because this is objectively ridiculous for running a business, okay? Let me explain why, now that we understand what CPM is, okay? So the statement is this, right? So if you had 4 active subscriptions, okay, then you're making 4 times 2.5 for Twitch, right? Which is $10. Okay? So if you so the problem with this model is that you can't scale that like you can scale CPMs. CPM scales based on demand of the platform, whereas subscribers scale based on demand from the streamer. And so while this question is not technically, the way that he worded this question is not technically false, they would solve their bounce rate problem in that, yeah, if they didn't have ads, they would not have a bounce rate, right? But they would also not have a business. so it's like we literally saw. It's like, oh, your donkey was going really slow, or your horse was going really slow. Oh, I solved that problem. How did you solve the problem of the horse going slow? Oh, I shot it. Now it doesn't go at all. It's like that psychology is like really weird to me. Like you can't say that, right? So the thing here is you can't make the platform ad-free to people with 4 or more subscriptions. The vast majority of people that are on the website that have you would be losing money off of those people. You would be losing a fucking shit ton of money off of people like XQC or whatever, where the main way that Twitch makes revenue is through ads. And the way that the main way that they're ever going to make revenue is through ads, right? So let's say that Twitch's CPM, and I'm going to put a thing here, totally arbitrary, not real numbers, okay? I'm just using for simplicity. Let's say that Twitch sells their inventory cost per 1,000 for $100, okay? And again, that's an absurd number. It's so high they'd never be able to do it, right? And they give streamers $10, okay? You can see and that's only for 1,000 people, okay? But 4 subscribers literally blocks out everyone for every. So let's say there's 3,000 people that watch a stream in a day. That means it's $300 for Twitch. Minus the 30, which is $270, right? But under Harris Heller's model, so Twitch makes $270. Under this model, Twitch makes $10. Does that make sense? It would be totally insane to do this, or to move off a CPM model at all. Advertising is fundamental to the way that these businesses work. How does YouTube sustain itself with ads with YouTube Premium? Also, Premium members give more money than a normal viewer, or is YouTube just a completely different case with how they monetize their service? Because YouTube has variable dynamic ad systems. So YouTube is able to price keywords based on demand and based dynamically on the people that buy them, the advertisers that buy them. So there's no simple answer to this question, right? The vast majority of the users that are on YouTube do not use YouTube Premium. But also, YouTube Premium is a $10 subscription service that goes directly to YouTube, okay? It's not split in half like this would be on Twitch. And the idea is that also... YouTube, God, this is such a complicated question. I don't think anyone cares about this, but YouTube Premium has its own ad network for people that get served ads in different ways. There's a YouTube Red Premium that you can actually serve ads to the YouTube Red users exclusively, which increases their value. Because the idea is that they are more engaged users. This is an extremely difficult question to answer. What do you think Harris's mindset behind this tweet was? Harris is really, really good when it comes to understanding certain aspects of the industry, like how you run a very high production stream or how you run like a very like high quality type of thing. He's good at a lot of things, but the raw, he's self-admitted, the raw numbers behind like why these things work is not one of his strong points. In the same way that, like, if I was to, if you were to ask me what the absolute best camera is for streaming on Twitch, I could not answer that question confidently. But Harris could. He could tell you like what the best gaming PC is, like for that, right? It's just different areas of expertise. I would like this tweet is just objectively not right because he doesn't understand the fundamentals behind the advertising agency. And like the math and stuff. And to that point, like obviously this is like a really, really complicated thing, right? Like there's not a lot of people do understand this. It's really, really hard. You have to be in on the sales side to understand this, I think. Wouldn't Twitch be able to solve that problem by incentivizing streamers to run ads by disabling pre-roll ads? Yes. The answer to every problem at Twitch is essentially to get streamers to run ads. That's what they have to do. Aren't you that old guy from Mizkif stream? Yes, that is what I'm known for and nothing else. Yes. What do you think of the idea for replacing pre-roll ads with an ad about 5 minutes of watching a stream? Wait, what? I think that Harris means that he has 4+ active subs to streamers so they don't get ads, much like Turbo. I understand that. No. Yeah, so streamer, the average user subscribes to 4 people, okay? That's the total amount that they're giving Twitch is $10. Twitch has to split that in half with Twitch doesn't get that full $5, right? They have to split it in half with the streamer that person subscribed to. So it's 4 times 2.5 equals $10. So the value that user is providing is $10. But the value that individual user is providing to the platform is way less overall because the vast majority of people on Twitch don't maintain 4 active subscriptions. Does that make sense? The vast majority of subs are gifted. So if you're maintaining 4 active tier 1 subscriptions, you're paying Twitch 4 times 5, which is 20. And out of that, Twitch is getting 10. And so what that does is that actually, fuck, even under that model, it's even worse then. Because you would have the bounce rate problem still, and you would have the revenue problem. Twitch as a platform shouldn't be ad-free. That's the case I'm making here. And this all started because of our research in the first place, because we determined that there's a 30% bounce rate on pre-roll ads. That was based on our last discussion with Harris in the first place. I think Twitch needs to find some way to do ads in a unique way that doesn't adhere to the old model. And I'm not sure I completely know the answer to this question, but I think it has something to do with showing a portion of the broadcast that's going on while an ad is playing so that you get both. And that happens to like picture in picture, but I truthfully don't know the answer to this question. I don't know how you do that. How much impact do you think ad block has? Ad block is pretty negligible because we don't consider it as part of the factor because it's just dead users, right? So it's basically users that aren't there and for the purposes of earning CPM, so we just don't think about it. 30% bounce rate is super not bad compared to other websites. No, 30. So if you go to a stream, a pre-roll ad plays, and okay, the way to understand that is as a Twitch streamer, 3 out of 10 of every one of your viewers are not watching your stream because they get an ad and they leave before they even get to your stream. That's pretty fucking bad. 30% of your audience that could be there isn't there because they're bouncing as a result of a pre-roll ad. That sucks. And the only way that Twitch is keeping that available is because they are putting a premium on those pre-roll ads because there's a premium on those ads because if you like the streamer enough, you will watch that ad so that you can get through to the streamer. Does that make sense? So, like, that ad has value because there's a much higher chance of you watching it. I think the way that YouTube solved this problem was probably ad duration. So, like, a 5-second skippable ad, which kind of, doesn't really annoy anybody. Yeah, and you still get the value of it. And it just challenges marketers to make ads that can appeal to someone in 5 seconds, which is totally doable. Like, you can make an impression upon someone in that amount of time. Like, subscribe to me on Twitch Prime, and it's like 2 seconds, right? Like, you can do it. I'll think more about this though. It's actually complicated as fuck. Do you think big streamers refusing to play ads at all is a big problem for Twitch? Yes, it's a huge problem for Twitch. That's why I think Twitch is going to try to... If I had to guess, I would say that Twitch is probably going to try to negotiate via contract that they have to run ads pretty soon. Because that's a major problem if you have inventory and you can't show it. Broadcasters that are at the high levels that aren't running ads are also super dumb. They're leaving a lot of money on the table as well. Pesty already has it, yeah. Can you pay for YouTube Premium and not see ads? Why not pay $20 for 4 subs on Twitch and not see pre-roll ads? Holy fuck. Okay. Because Twitch has to split the money 50%. So the statement that you're making, I need to full brain for this one. Holy shit. The question is $10 worth more to Twitch than an individual user's value if they watch ads? My answer is no. I don't think so. I think a user will generate more than $10 for Twitch than if they paid $10 in active subs in watching ads because of how CPM works. And because I know the numbers that Twitch uses for CPM, and I know that's the fact. Okay? But I can't tell you that because I'm NDA, but it doesn't matter. You can take my word for it because the principle is true, right? The premise is true. So the amount of money, there is some amount of money that you could give Twitch in theory to make yourself ad immune. And then that would pay for you and your value as an ad watcher. But that number is quite a bit higher than 4 active subs. It might be 10 active subs, 15 active subs, wherever. I could do the math on it. Does that make sense? You don't want to give ad revenue away for free. Here, okay, I think I have a really easy way to describe this, because this is like, for people in chat that are like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. A person who watches ads on Twitch has potentially infinite scaling for how much money they can make Twitch. But a person who actively subs to people on Twitch will most likely run out of money, so they will not produce those results. So if I can keep ranking up my CPMs, I can charge more and more and more and more, then every single time that I charge more, and with any growing platform, CPMs should always increase, right? Like CPMs for Google ads are way higher than they were 2 years ago, and way, way higher than they were 8 years ago, right? I used to be able to bid on keywords for 3 cents a click, right? And those keywords nowadays cost like $9. So that's like fucking insane, right? That's why literally if you got into Facebook ads, you could print money, right? So a person that watches ads can infinitely scale, but a person who actively subs will run out of money eventually. No. So Twitch Turbo is a whole nother thing where Twitch Turbo costs $12, $15, right? Please make this a video on YouTube. I genuinely think nobody cares about this. $9? Okay. So what Twitch Turbo is I use Twitch Turbo, right? Twitch Turbo is an option to get an ad-free experience on Twitch in exchange for $10. But I would argue to you that if every single user theoretically signed up for Twitch Turbo, Twitch wouldn't have a business. Because of the ad problem. So this is the same with YouTube Red, right? So Twitch Turbo ironically almost exists because that model works up to a certain point to where it doesn't scale and then it isn't profitable. This is really crazy, complicated shit. I'm trying really hard to explain this. You lose something on Twitch Turbo because the user on Twitch is paying for Twitch is paying for that ad. Okay, that's really, really important. So with Twitch Turbo, I don't know if a lot of you know this. If you sign up for Twitch Turbo and then you come to my stream, you don't get served an ad, but Twitch pays the advertiser and then pays me for that ad. So that's not a good model, right? Because what happens is if everyone on Twitch was a Twitch Turbo member, they would all come to my stream, the ad would run, Twitch would pay me for the ad at their expense, and then they would collect the money from Twitch Turbo. And that wouldn't shake out. Why do it then? It's like, because there are other benefits. Well, so it's MRR, right? Like there are other benefits to creating like power and engaged users and things like that. It's not purely a profit incentive. So like there are benefits to giving options to the, in business that a certain percentage of your users are going to be power users and they're going to be more engaged. It's beneficial to give them extra options. Right? It's beneficial to give them the ability to subscribe or to like the feeling of being like a luxury user or a power user has a value to a certain percentage of the community, and you want to cater to a certain percentage of that community, if that makes sense. So like it could be, so you could almost think of Twitch Turbo as a marketing expense in this sense, right? Wasn't the reason they nerfed Prime was because there weren't enough ads on the platform. The number of users watching ads wasn't enough. Well, the problem that Twitch has with ads is an inventory problem. So the problem is that Twitch can't literally Twitch can't sell enough ads. That's one of the big problems that Twitch has. So Twitch has an issue that they can't sell enough ads to 100% inventory. That right now, if every streamer on the platform that was able to ran ads every hour, Twitch would run out of ads. That's also true for YouTube, by the way. It's like YouTube can't serve ads to every YouTube channel because that is why, by the way, how many of you guys have been watching a fucking stream and you see like the same advertisement 6,000 times? Like like one time I had Twitch Turbo off because I was researching something on other accounts, and I saw an ad for The Secret Life of Pets 6,000 times. And I lost my mind. Oh my God. So this is bad for everyone. This is an inventory problem. The problem why this happens is because Twitch doesn't have enough vendors to sell those ads. And it's really, really bad because it puts a bad taste in users' mouths. Like they're like, I hate this, right? You create these like arc villains that will never buy those products because they've heard about it like fucking 3,000 times. That's an inventory problem. So the real answer is that Twitch needs to lower their CPMs. but that's a conversation that's like way too high level, right? Like there's not enough interest in Twitch yet. One possibility is that there is not enough interest in Twitch. Another possibility is that, and a more likely possibility, is that Twitch is taking themselves too seriously, is charging too much for CPMs, so their sales team can't get people to buy inventory. Because let's use the previous example of $100. Again, theoretical CPM. If Twitch is let's say you go to a brand and you say, hey, pay me $100 per 1,000 users that watch your thing, and I will get you sales. Okay? If I'm Bounty and I know that I sell my paper towels for an average of like $20 a thing, I'm never going to take that deal because I'll make more money if I just advertise on Facebook or literally anywhere else, right? It's just a math problem. So Twitch may very well think that they're more valuable than they actually are, and that, I would argue, is the case on their sales team. Alternatively, their sales team isn't approaching enough brands, right? That's another possibility. It could be a volume problem. They're just not calling enough people. So it's really important to understand that on the back end of Twitch, every single ad deal that gets signed that you guys end up watching as an advertisement has to be manually done by a human, right? That is a huge, enormous, maybe this should be on YouTube. That is an enormous problem. That is an enormous problem. Let me repeat that. That is a very, very important thing. As long as this exists, Twitch will never have the inventory to be able to cater to all streamers. As long as Twitch, if any ad deal you see, any advertisement you see on this platform is a manual ad deal done by Twitch to that brand. It's some hoser calling up whatever brand and being like, do you want to spend this money? And all the negotiation that goes with that. It's a contract. It's an ad deal. It's a discussion of prices. It's calls back and forth. It's emails. It's shit. Okay? On YouTube, right now, if I want to run an ad for Nerd Fusion to YouTube, I can do that process entirely automatically. I go to YouTube. I literally type in Google. I go to advertise with YouTube, right? I hit the first thing that comes up. It tells me exactly how to do it. I don't need to talk to someone, although I can, right? It gives me a phone number immediately if I want to and if I have a big ad deal. And they'll literally give me $100 to spend on ads. And by the way, it's not a fixed CPM, it's a dynamic CPM. So I can spend as much money as I want to or as little money as I want to. The amount of money that Twitch requests for you to even get in the door to advertise with Twitch is astounding. I can't tell you what the number is. The number has been said publicly. It is a number that will fucking amaze you. The amount of money that it costs to advertise with Twitch at a base rate is fucking crazy. The sales team is out of their mind. If I ever get a salesperson on this call, like from Twitch on this call that's at a high level, I will shit. I will like, we will have this conversation, and like I would literally like they should literally fly me to San Francisco. I wouldn't go, but like they should just watch the stream or something. I don't know. And like we should have this conversation because it's insane to me how the Twitch sales team functions. Like, number one, their CPMs are insane. Number two, you have manual deals that you have to make for every single deal that you sell. And number three, every single one of those deals has to be individually negotiated to get on the platform. How can you ever have enough inventory? Twitch will never be a profitable website until they solve this problem. The way that YouTube became profitable, because YouTube lost money in the first years, was they switched so that anybody can advertise with YouTube. It's an automatic process. You never need to touch a human, Gachi, to be able to get an advertisement on YouTube. That just doesn't need to happen. That is not a thing. That's how ads and CPM work. I don't know. We could make this a YouTube platform, and a YouTube video could call it like Twitch's ad problem or something. That feel when Devin is smarter than the CEO? No, it's not that. Because it's one thing to understand these concepts. It's entirely different to implement them, right? Because the CEO's job is not to understand these things. He probably does understand these things. The problem is he has to go through a freaking impossible bureaucracy of 1,500 employees. The vast majority of them are too busy playing Diablo 3 and not giving a shit than actually doing their jobs. And actually explain to them how to get this stuff done at a team level. And holy shit, I can't do that any better than he can. The problem is the chafe. The problem is the chonk. There's too much to go through. Like, we can have this talk. We can understand this at a conceptual level. Implementing it is very difficult. Twitch will never make money under the current ad system. There is no way to do this unless you make the ad platform self-serve or you drastically increase the popularity of Twitch, which doesn't have any kind of indication that's going to happen anytime soon. Why don't you think they switch to an automated model? Because it's extremely difficult to do so. Only 2 companies have ever succeeded in making a real self-serving ad platform, and that's Facebook and Google. And they did it to the investment of millions of dollars, and literally the most advanced non-military AI in existence. That's what it takes to run that ad network. It is extremely difficult to do. I literally don't think that Twitch has what it takes. I don't even think Amazon has what it takes, and that's like... right? Like, Amazon could do it if they dedicated enough resources to it, but they have no interest in doing it because Amazon doesn't run an ad network. Amazon runs a shopping network, right? Like, Amazon doesn't need to run an ad network. They need to get you the product that you want, that you don't even know that you want yet, okay? So if I want to make the biggest hot dog balloon, and I don't even know I want that yet, it's Amazon's job to predict that future, go into the time stream, and then recommend me that product on the page. That's what Amazon wants to do. Amazon does have an ad network, not like Facebook or Google. It has an ad network for preferred customers at fixed rates. It's not the same. The scalable things on Amazon are their shopping service, their Prime service, and AWS. That's how Amazon makes their money. So Amazon will never be incentivized to build an ad network advanced for Twitch unless they really, really think that Twitch is like so huge that it could be another vertical for them. And right now, Twitch is not a significant vertical for Amazon and has no indication of being such, even though they own 61% of the market, right? So does Facebook Gaming have ads? Yep. Facebook Gaming has a 1-to-1 ad transition. If you stream on Facebook Gaming, you're plugged into the same network that Facebook has for all of their ad network. And if you stream on YouTube, same thing, right? So YouTube, that is why YouTube and Facebook have this inherent advantage. Well, then why buy Twitch? Because Amazon wanted to have a sort of spiritual footprint in the live media space. The same reason they have Amazon Video, right? They wanted to exist in that space as a contender in that form of media. Not necessarily to make profit. this is why my argument is that Amazon will gradually will not invest their R&D resources into Twitch that they would otherwise into other projects. Obviously, they'll invest more into AWS. It's not even like a contender. But I'm saying, like, in the galactic mind of Jeff Bezos, the Twitch as a platform and even as a vertical, and when I say vertical in business, what I mean is potential to scale and revenue growth, right, is like infinitesimal. It's like a fucking thing he thinks about every once in a while. Probably he gets annoyed whenever he goes to Twitter and sees something about it. That would be the extent of, like, the Twitch is a spiritual pursuit for Amazon, in which, like, it's important for Amazon to have a voice in live media, right? That's it. It's not a profit, and it's not a profit thing. And as long as that is the case, that's why I argue that it would have been way better if Google bought if Google bought Twitch, because what Google could have eventually done is plug that directly into their ad network, and we wouldn't have the ad problem we have on Twitch. So I'm not even sure that I ever see a reality where Twitch's ad system gets improved. So the same could be said for their Amazon games development team. Yeah, exactly the same, right? Like, Amazon doesn't really think that video game development is going to be like a significant vertical for their business, right? Amazon stock isn't going up because, and some people unironically think this. They're like, oh, Amazon stock's going up because of Twitch. No. Okay, that's never happening. That's not a thing, right? That's never happening, right? Amazon stock is going up because AWS is fucking crazy. People are buying more shit online because they can't go outside. Prime subscriptions are up like crazy, right? And the other reason too that Twitch is a big thing. Okay, here's another like big thing, and I gotta go pretty soon. I'm running out of time. I'm already late. Think about it this way, right? What is Amazon's big moneymaker for monthly reoccurring revenue? AWS is one. We already mentioned another one, and that's Primes, right? So Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is an enormous moneymaker, right? So how do you get more people to get into Amazon Prime? You give them more incentives, right? So, hey, if you want access to Amazon Video and you want to watch great shows, you get it through Amazon Prime. If you want 2-day shipping, you get it through Amazon Prime. What was the first thing that Amazon did when they bought Twitch? What was it? What was it? What was it? What was it? Yep, it's Twitch Prime. Why? Because Twitch Prime is incentive to subscribe for Amazon Prime. And if you sign up through Amazon Prime, the idea was that Twitch would be a platform to milk into their previously established vertical. And that's basically the only thing that Amazon is interested in. If you are a Twitch executive and you go to Amazon and you try to justify a budget, they will most likely tell you, I'm guessing here, right? But it's a very educated guess. They will most likely tell you, how does that get us more Prime subscriptions? And if you can answer that, they'll give you money, right? And if you can't answer that, they'll tell you to go fuck yourself. Because essentially Twitch is a giant marketing service to promote Amazon Prime as a vertical. And that's it. The people have these like very high hopes for Twitch as a platform, not understanding that Twitch's growth only affects Amazon insofar as it gets them more Prime subscriptions off of conversions. And that's why you're going to see that every single thing that Amazon has implemented. So out of all the things that Amazon has done for Twitch over the past time that they've owned it, how long has it been? 4 years? Every single one of those things has been a profit-gaining opportunity. Bits, gifted subs, Prime, everything, right? The only thing they've done that hasn't been like that, Clips, which is literally made by one guy, which is Stale 2000 in chat, and I'm pretty sure that the only reason that guy's still employed is they can't like find him. He's like Milton in the Office Space, and he's like hiding, adding features, and like they don't even know that they employ him. So there's that guy. Then there's what else is there? The recommendation system, same thing there, but like that's like a half-assed kind of project that could be something somewhere down the line. but it's absolutely essential, right? Like, the point being that the big projects that get funded within Twitch, the very big things that happen within Twitch, are always initiatives to either make more revenue or to edge people up to Amazon Prime subscriptions, and it will always be that way. The only way it won't be that way is if somehow Twitch gets like 1 billion users, right? Then the platform itself becomes a vertical for revenue, and they pay attention to it. The likelihood of which is astronomically unlikely, right? Because it takes such a high degree of adoption. It takes such a high degree of cultural understanding to actually get into this and to understand it. But if you are going to get there and you are going to make a profitable platform, the way you do it is all the way back. We're going all the way back to 20 minutes ago. If you are going to create a platform that is profitable, how do you do it? Ads. Ads are the way you do it. Ads, because of dynamic CPM systems, all the way back. That's how you do it. All right? Boom. That's the talk. That's why Twitch will never, ever be profitable unless they fix their ad system, which is super unlikely to happen because of the motivations from Amazon. You have to see all this at every level. Okay, I'm out of time. I've been out of time for a while. I got to go order some food. I got to go chill. In 30 minutes, I will be we'll be on Empires of Arcadia, which is the D&D show that we run every Wednesday. You can go watch that if you want. I think it's either on Zizarin or Destiny's channel, but I will let you know where it is on Discord. Thank you very much for coming out. Super good. Shout out to Novo for sponsoring the fireworks show and also top donation of the month. Big appreciate. Thank you, Net Yellow, for the second biggest one. Thank you to everybody who helped with the fireworks stream. That will be Saturday. We will have that show. Saturday show for fireworks live at around 4 or 5 p.m. Meanwhile, tomorrow I will be on. We'll work on the agency list. We'll work on the Scuff podcast notes, and we'll also have the Scuff podcast. And in the meantime, I will be on Discord. Woo! Good ass stream, guys. Sorry I got to go a little bit earlier. Thank you for coming out for the panel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A little bit different type of thing we do on Twitch. Thank you for coming out for the talks, and I will see you guys later tonight and mañana. Come to the Discord. Go check it out. I'll be there. I'll see you guys there. Much love. Post those hearts in chat. Any hearts you want. You guys have been fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Be good to yourselves and each other. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.